bigger profits. Right now, you can save 20% off Truck Stop Load Board Pro for 6 months. The best tool for serious carriers. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description to get 20% off Load Board Pro for 6 months. Need capital to grow your business or cover unexpected expenses? Rock Financial has your back. Whether you're looking for a flexible line of credit, a fast cash advance, or tailored working capital solutions, Rock Financial makes it simple to get funded, often in as little as 24 hours. No hidden fees, an easy application, and real support from people who know the business. Ready to take your hustle to the next level? Tap the link in the description to get started with Rock Financial today. Wish insurance was this easy? With LogRock, it's like magic. Real coverage appears when you need it. No tricks. Get covered now. Click the link in the description.
Warning: the following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults, as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? Good afternoon. Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications. If you are in need of commercial insurance for your box truck, semi-truck, cargo van business, there's a link in the description below for LogRock. LogRock, official sponsor of the channel, up for renewal, looking for a cheaper commercial insurance solution this next go around. Click the link in the description below for LogRock commercial insurance. Come on in, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications. How's everybody doing this afternoon? What's today? December 23rd. December 23rd. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Let's see what we got going on. Shout out to Slick Turbo. Slick Turbo, I see you in here last night. Slick Turbo had to put me on, man. I don't know if I was a little sleepy or, stud just, was doing a good job, but, being a stud, but I couldn't tell the difference. Shout out to Kelvin representing the crib in the building. Hold on, let me get my shit together. Shout out to everybody part of the MGM gang. Shout out to Jay Smart Guy. Shout out to Edie. He said, yeah, Big Mark, we leaving the pension. All the benefits for the box truck. LOL. Listen, I don't know why some people be out here tweaking, man. I really don't get it. Shout out to Pippi. Shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to CTR Logistics. Shout out to Rod, man. What up? Representing Detroit Moving Company. Hustle representing Denver. What's going on, man? Good afternoon. Shout out to everybody for watching. December 23rd, 2 days away from Christmas. Yeah, so boom. First let me say this, because I noticed something every year around this time. Right around this time, and then most of January, the sentiment changes, right? You got a lot of people that want to come into this space, but then there's people that are already in this space or people looking to come in this space, and they real bitchy. They bitchy, right? Real grinchy and bitchy. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm gonna just tell you straight out the gate, I'm not like the rest of these people. And it's anybody, you dig what I'm saying? Because there's some people that get mad when I say that. I'm talking about anybody that you feel like it. You dig what I'm saying? This bitchy, grinchy shit, don't get mad because of the decisions that you made. Because everybody ain't out here fucked up. All right? If you can't handle real talk, then, this ain't it. This ain't for you. You can get sold a dream somewhere else. I don't want to hear your bitchy ass whining and complaining because you fucked up around Christmas. You're not going to lower my mood. So when you write these comments, because somebody told you need working capital and you feel like you need to go into a whole soliloquy about your struggles, I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm telling you at the beginning of the show, I don't really give a fuck. And I'm looking straight in the camera. I don't get two fucks about your soliloquy and your struggles. If you can't handle the truth, then I'm just not the person for you. I'm not going to sit up here and sell you a dream and give you all the highlights. Tell me the boogeyman around the corner. That's the shit I want to know. Tell me, when I walk around this corner, it's 3 motherfuckers with masks on, with guns, ready to lay down anything that turn around that corner. That's the shit I want to know. If I'm going around the corner and it's fucking a pot of gold, just let me go around the corner. I want to know about the shit that I need to avoid. If good fortune is around the corner, cool. I'm going around the corner. Let me walk into the good fortune. If you stop me, then you a hater. Navigate me around the pitfalls. So because you fucked up around Christmas, I don't care. It's not my problem. You dig? So now that we got that out of the way, see, I ain't going to build it in. I'm going to let you know at the door, front and center. All right? I'm going to just let you know straight at the door. You dig? All right, so come on in. Now we got that out the way. So that way you can stop wasting y'all time with these long soliloquies because you don't have what's necessary to be successful. Or instead you could take the information and go out and apply yourself, right? And get what's needed. The only thing that's stopping you from getting what you need is application. Supply yourself. Ain't nobody stopping you from going out. What you need to do to get what you need to get to be successful is what you trying to escape. Some people are trying to escape what they need in order to be successful. Some people are walking away from what they absolutely need to come in this business and be successful. A job, consistent income, capital. It's crazy to me when people come to me and say they want to walk away from their job and then they don't have no money, no nothing. So you walking away from money, consistent money to try to start a business with nothing, that makes absolutely no sense. And then you get mad at me for telling you it makes no sense. So we got this whole box truck thing. And this ain't finna be a popular conversation. I don't expect it to be one. It's only for people who really just want the truth and the understanding. The people who don't like the truth and the understanding, they gonna be a part of the 90% within the next 30 to 60 days. I swear for God on everything I love. And those are the people that are grinchy right now and bitchy. The reason why that people around this time of the year in this space get grinchy and bitchy, one is because they expected a boom around this time of the year because they were sold a dream of peak season holiday and they don't understand, the lanes that benefit from holiday shopping, right? So their last hope of, they business because they've been struggling was this time, well, man, we're going to get to the holiday season. That's going to boost it. And now that it's getting close to Christmas and the realism is sinking in, like, damn, I thought this season, this month was going to save my business and it's still dismal for them. Here come the bitchy shit. A lot of the people that bitch and complain is because the shit that they're hearing is the truth and they just don't want to hear it. So they get mad at the truth. You a successful business person, you should be joyous around this time of the year. You should be happy, right? If you ran a successful business, you actually shouldn't even be, you should be home, chilling, running around doing last minute shopping, dealing with the chaos of last minute shopping right before Christmas, the magic and the fun within that. I'm finna go do it. As soon as I get off this last one, I'm early. Notice I'm about an hour and a half early today because I'm finna go finish that. I like that. I like that last minute. I like that shit. That shit fun to me. It reminds me when I like to be happy. But the individuals who fucked up all year that thought that this was going to be the time of the year that was going to say, we just got to get to peak season. And this shit came and it's getting closer to Christmas. You upset. The only person that you can really be upset with is yourself. You can't be upset with the person who told you the truth and you just didn't like it because you don't even like the person or he kept rubbing in your face and telling you, which is me. Or you can not like the person and get upset with the person who misled you. You can't even get upset with that person. The only person you can get upset with is yourself. You start a business, ultimately you are the final and ultimate decision maker. You can consume all the information that you want, but at the end of the day, you the person who has to make the final decision. And if you made illegitimate, illogical decisions that led you to this place in a time where everybody else is joyous and you're upset, what I would do is I would learn from it and do better next time. I wouldn't be bitchy and grinchy about it. So today I want to talk about what's the attraction. And the reason why is after the conversation I had with that kid yesterday, the 24-year-old who has a degree in accounting, went to school for 4 years and finished and got their degree in accounting, something that's STEM related, science, technology, engineering, and math, something that I think will take you far. And he has it. You know, if you watched that show yesterday, I was really concerned. Like, bro, you got a degree in accounting and you want to start a box truck. And then I asked him, I said, what's the reason? He said, man, I just want to make money. You have a degree that you can make money. You have a degree where you can make a lot of money managing other people's money with a low cost of his situation in comparison. If he took his degree and used it in comparison to starting a box truck, his cost of entry is damn near nothing compared to a box truck. Plus the risk is way lower. Way lower. A box truck ain't nothing but a moving liability. It's just a moving, depending on who you are, but for most people, it's just a vehicle that's just moving debt. It's just a mobile fucking, for most people, not everybody. We looking at the statistics. And his biggest asset is his knowledge. So I'm like, even in a situation like this person who has a degree in math doesn't make sense. So I wanted to look into what's the attraction as it pertains to this box truck. Whether, we got young guys that have come up like the guy yesterday. We've had corporate professionals come up. We've had people with degrees like the guy yesterday. People that come up that saying they're burned out from work. People have even come up that said they don't even like driving. Like there's been people that have come up that have said, yo, I don't even like to drive, but I just want to, start a business, quit my job, and this is the only thing. But I don't like driving though. People that have never ran a business, and granted, if you never ran a business until you ran a business. And then when I asked them, why do you want to start this business? The answers are almost always the same. I just want to make money. I'm tired of the job plantation, right? That's a popular one. I want freedom. That's another popular one. I got them all wrote down. And I don't want a boss. These are the 4 things that I hear the most. I just want to make money. I'm tired of the job plantation. I want freedom. And I don't want a boss. Wanting money is not a business plan. Wanting money is not a business plan. Hating your job is not going to qualify you to be successful as it pertains to this industry. To me, these are not good reasons to start any business. Fuck trucking. These are not good reasons to start any business. When people say these things, the first thing that comes to my mind is they don't have a business plan. Because a person with a business plan, the first thing that's a part of your business plan is your mission statement. Your mission statement is pretty much the reason why you want to do what you want to do. So when people say this shit to me, I know they don't have a business plan. I just asked them just for shits and giggles, right? I know they don't have a business plan because what person who has a business plan is going to put, I just want to make money as their mission statement? Or I want to get off the job, plantation. Or I want freedom, mission statement. I want freedom. Or I don't want a boss. And then when we look at the statistics, when we look at the data of people entering into this industry, the success and the failure rate is day and night, 90-10. When you try to educate people on just general business, notice there's a pushback. If you notice there's a slight pushback, but you know me, I push back. And then when they see me pushing back, they lay off. It's a pushback. Why? Because there's work that needs to be done before you start any business. A lot of your most successful businesses, as far as like your business owners, like the popular people you see in those popular businesses, and we don't have to name them, just think of some of the most successful ones that are current. Prior to launching those businesses came years of due diligence, years of research, years of understanding. The key to being successful in business, one, is understanding what you're investing into. That's one of the main reasons most people fail. They have a lack of understanding, general basic understanding of what they're investing into. And when you tell people this, notice the pushback. To me, I don't know why it's pushback. Because any person that has some level of success will tell you the same thing. Once you get in the game, once your foot is in the door, you in the game. You can save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of burden by being patient and get an understanding of what you're about to invest into. There's no way on God's green earth, and I say this all the time, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to take money that I earn and just invest it into something ignorantly. I'm just not going to do it. Somebody said something in the comment section last, and this is he's probably, I'm not, he's a frequent detractor. Guy doesn't really like me. He said, man, he said something to the effect of, man, you against people that start with less than 5,000, but I'd rather, start with less than 5,000 because at least I'd rather start with less than 5,000 because you would have just spent it on bullshit anyway. Something to that effect. At that point, I think I stopped going back engaging with them because that let me know right there where his mindset was, because that's not true. If you have $5,000 or less and you want to start a business and Mark tells you, man, save up some more money, your response is, no, I'd rather do it because if it happened, it happened. If it don't, because I would have just spent it on bullshit anyway. No, you would have spent it on bullshit. There's an individual out there that would have kept that money and continued to be diligent and bringing in more revenue at work or whatever, and saving up more capital to get himself a fighting chance. You might have spent it on bullshit. That doesn't mean the logical person, the person who wants to come in and give themselves the best chance, is going to do it. And that's when I disengage from the conversation. That's an individual. That's the mindset of a person who doesn't have patience. They have no discipline. If you can't just let the money sit there and grow, I wasn't gonna do nothing but spending on some bullshit anyway, so I might as well take this chance. You have no discipline. You can't, like, when people try to debate me on logic that's not seasoned as I am, you're not gonna win. That's a person that doesn't have discipline. That's a person who can't save money, is burning a hole in your pocket. You know that more capital gives you a better chance. It gives you more soldiers. Every dollar is a soldier. Business is war. Business ain't la la land, because the same ignorant individual who comes into a business and you competing against a person who has capital, they're not passionate because of your plight. They're not going to be passionate or empathetic to your plight. You in the way. And this is what people fail to realize. They think it's enough opportunity. No, it's not. Because if everybody could get a piece, then everybody would have a piece and you wouldn't see all the complaining. If it was enough, then it would be equal, right? Think about it. If it was enough, then everybody would be equal. The thing is there's some people that have more leverage than others. There's some people that have more capital. There's some people that have more resources. If I have more resources than you and we're competing for the same customers, majority of the time I'm going to win. The few times you may win is because we're booked. You get the leftovers. You don't get the first choice. You get what we let you get. If it was enough, it would be even Steven. Hey, look, see how I do it? I'm cold. I knew he was here. He always here. This is who I was talking about. I'm a cold motherfucker, man. Listen, I'm a cold motherfucker, man. I knew you was watching. You can't, listen, Chauncey, you can't miss a day of Big Mark. You a detractor, but you really be over here, and I'm fucking with you right now. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas, pimp. Because you know his value over here, pimp. Appreciate the super chat.
Sweet.
I knew we was gonna pull you out there. Hey, Mark a cold motherfucker, man. I knew we was gonna pull you out there. Oh, I knew you was in the cut lurking. I'm from the crib, man. I seen you around the corner. You didn't know I had pulled around the corner. I was in the Crown Vic sitting on the corner just scoping the scene. I was scoping the scene around the corner in the Crown Vic. I like Chauncey. Chauncey. He like a fair weather. Like we ain't gonna call him a hater. He like a fair weather. He like a fair. He like, sometimes you like him and sometimes you just get on your nerve. You dig what I'm saying? But you might have not said that verbatim, but that was the point. That was the point. You would have spent the money on some bullshit. My response that you hear now is, you should have exercised, or an individual that's in that situation should exercise a little bit more discipline. Because here's the thing. I understand, whether you agree or you disagree, and I'm speaking, and I say this all the time, I haven't wavered. from a business perspective and just a life perspective, as an older gentleman in life and a seasoned gentleman in business, both in life, right, and in business, I've seen a lot of unforeseen situations. And there's one thing that you need to solve them. There's one thing that solves every unforeseen situation. It's money. Now, me personally, I'm not going to advise anybody to go into anything undercapitalized, right? Because if I'm going to advise somebody, I'm advising them to win. So I'm going to give them the information and the tools, not to be, if you can, but, it's going to be 50-50. You did what I'm saying? No, I'm going to give it to them straightforward. I'd rather a person, you've seen this plenty of times on this channel. This is not me saying it. You guys that watch the channel, you see it all the time. More people, yeah, you can call in. Give me a second. Let me cook, and I'm gonna drop the phone number. You see a lot of people come and they don't like the information because I think it's straightforward and it's different from what they see, from other people. The most people are selling hope. I'm gonna call it what it is, and I'm being frank. A lot of these people are new entrants. These people are entrants during the pandemic. They're not really seasoned like me, and this is not to toot my own horn. It's just what it is. Time is time. I can't help that I'm older. I can't help that my entry into this industry was a decade and a half ago. So I can't help it that I was 10 years into it prior to 2020. So I'm speaking from way more trials and tribulations, way more experience. So I have no and I'm trying to choose my words correctly because I'm being frank. I have no reason. I want to use a better word. I'm just going to say reason to sell an idea or sell hope because I'm not incentivized. I'm not incentivized to do so. A lot of people that sell you an idea of hope, it's because there's, and let's be honest, there's other products. If I had evergreen products, let's say, we're gonna have a conversation today. We kicking it, man. This is a kick it day. If I came in during the pandemic and I was a young guy and I saw trucking, I came in during the pandemic and I'm doing trucking, but I'm also seeing an opportunity to leverage myself as an influencer, and I can sell these products, make way more off of products than my actual trucking business. And I do that. It's not in my best interest to, whether knowingly or unknowingly, sell you the lowlights. If I sell you the lowlights, that's going to deter you away from the products that I have to sell that are evergreen. If I get an ebook, whether I write the ebook or I go on Fiverr and purchase an ebook for $5, $10 and then rebrand it and post it on my website and sell it for, let's say, $1,000 ebooks were going for at that time. And let's say I sell 100 ebooks during that time, which was not hard to do. That's $100,000. That one product, you can sell it over and over and over and over and over again. And during a time period where everybody just had a bunch of money, that wasn't a hard feat to do. $10 investment, another $15, $20 in rebranding it. I'm $20, $25 all in, website hosting, $10, $15 a month. I got a product that I'm selling for $1,000 at a time where everybody has capital and 100 people buy it's $100,000. Why would they, even if they knew the lowlights, or even if they know the lowlights, why would they tell it to you? It's going to deter you away from the moneymaker. I don't blame them. They hustlers. They supposed to do that. If it's just like I was telling the guy yesterday. If you see a void in the marketplace, take it. Now, I might poke fun from time to time. It's just poking fun. I really don't give a fuck neither way. I'm from a place where people hustle all day long. A sucker gonna be born every day. You was just a sucker. Over here, you gonna get it straight cut, straightforward. I don't have no reason to do that. I make my money in other ways outside of this. I've been transitioned my trucking money into other investments years ago. Is there opportunity for Big Mark? People ask me all the time. I can go through my DMs right now every day. It's 2 or 3 people asking me to mentor them. I've had people throw big money at me. Somebody came in the Discord in the public chat a few months ago and offered me $20,000. I turned them down. I don't want it. Why do I don't want it? Because you're going to be more of a headache to me, and I don't need the headache. I don't want to hold nobody's hand. That's why I can come on here and be truthful of the industry from an experienced person, not care if you like me or not. And the people that grasp the nuggets and the gems, cool. And that's going to be a small percentage of people. Why? Because it parallels the success failure rate. The reason why the failure rate is so high is because people don't want the truth. They don't want to consume the truth, and they don't want the work that's associated with the truth. Period. We know this already. We see it. This space started the boom with what's Buddy name that started this space. He was the Amazon guy. Somebody help me out in the chat. What was the guy that everybody credits for starting the box truck space? Damn, what's Buddy name? It's an initial something B, I think. Demetrius B. He started this space. Well, this is who people credit. I wasn't doing content. I didn't start doing content until April 2022. But I see a lot of people credit him for starting this space in about, I don't know, maybe 2019, 2018, 2020, somewhere around there. And let's say 5, 6, 7 years of this space, we've seen it evolve. Enough that we see real life case studies. We see real life data. But yet and still, people still take all the highlights, the misinformation, the hope, everything that sounds good to suit their fantasy, which ultimately leads to failure, that keeps that statistic where it is, that keeps that data point of the failure rate where it's at. Because the truth, which there's a minimal amount of, people don't like harsh reality. People don't like, the only time people like harsh reality truth on the internet is what you see on TikTok, the shit that we reacted to last night. A place where everybody is kumbaya, misery, love, company. I don't want to be around no miserable love company people as it comes to we fucked up and we don't want to do what's in our best interest. So everybody that's fucked up that don't want to do what's in their best interest, let's all gather here and just complain about shit instead of doing something about it. If I come into something, yo, tell me, yo, what the fuck, what we need to maneuver around, what we need to escape. This the shit that I want to know. So I want to talk about why trucking, box trucking, fuck trucking, box trucking, it just it's so attractive psychologically to people. To be in today's times, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm always gonna keep it a buck with you. In 2026, there's so many more easier ways where the cost of entry is even lower and the risk is even lower that you can make way more money. If you want to talk trucking, I'm always here to talk trucking, but I'm just like, yo, there's so many ways to make money easier with a cheaper cost of entry and make way more money. I want to talk about why people misunderstand what they actually investing in. Let's talk about the psychology of it, the psychological aspect, the allure. A lot of people think they attracted to box trucking because of financial reason, they want more money, but really they attracted from emotional points. I know this is a lot of emotional people. Most of the people that you see, they emotional. And this is why you can't make logical decisions from your heart, your feelings. It's bad for business. I've never been an emotional person. I can't be. Emotions will get you fucked up out here in the streets. It'll get you fucked up in business. You just can't be. I'm sorry. I'm not a middle American. Listen, business is ruthless. It is what it is. You can't come into business with your heart. You got to come into business right here, logically. You got to outthink your competitors. You have to outthink. You're constantly thinking. First, low barrier to entry. This is the main reason why so many people are attracted. Why? Because they don't want to do any of the things that we talked about a minute ago. They want to escape the job. They don't want to work. They want the freedom. So they look for things that they can be their own boss so they can meet the standards of validation on social media by being their own boss. And box trucking happens to be one of those things where the barrier to entry is very, very low. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. On paper, box trucking looks deceptively simple. It's explained deceptively simple by some of your favorite people. Mark gives you the truth. If it was simple, I'd be the first person to tell you, y'all tweaking, this shit sweet. And guess what? My period was easier than this period. Way easier. Why? It was less competition. The cost wasn't as high. Rates were the same. So during my peak periods, the same income that you're bringing in, I was bringing in, except the cost was different. Insurance was lower. Fuel at certain points was lower. Labor was extremely lower. And it was still difficult. It's more difficult now. Low barrier to entry, no CDL, no office, no degree required, no long licensing. It's not like getting a restaurant where you got to go through health inspections and somebody there has to have the certificate with the city or the state or the county, health and all that shit. Insurance in comparison to other industries is high, but it's low in comparison to some other industries. And you get a physical asset that you can touch, right? Compared to tech, right? Real estate. Real estate is not as easy. It's not as easy to become a real estate investor. Obviously, it's property. The cost of property is different. Credit, things of that nature, background, franchising. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to franchise until they start to research. Man, let's look into McDonald's, and they realize that they got to have $1 million liquid and they got to have $1 million in assets to even be considered for a McDonald's. Just to even be considered, last I checked, you had to have $1 million liquid and $1 million in assets just to be even considered for a McDonald's. And then they start going down the list and try to find something cheaper. Subway, last I checked, Subway was like 300,000, but then Subways are failing right now. Then they keep going down the line. You get us like a Steak and Shake where they got the $10,000 entry. Where do you see Steak and Shakes? Nobody eats there. Nobody eats a Steak and Shake. That's why their entry is low. But even still, with the cost of startup costs, build out, things of that nature, you still need a certain amount of liquid capital and assets to even be qualified for that. So now once they ask all that, you got real estate out, franchising is out, they doing more research, and then they find box truck, and then they see creators. I've seen one, y'all been sending me this one guy that's saying $1,000. And then Chauncey, it ain't who you think it is. Chauncey be thinking I be talking about Box Truck Shorty. And I don't be talking about Box Truck Shorty because I never seen Box Truck Shorty say $1,000. Chauncey gave me a long soliloquy. Chauncey read me my rights one day last week. I was talking about Box Truck Shorty. I wasn't talking about Box Truck Shorty. I'm talking about some guy that they've been sending me that's probably 25 years younger than Box Truck Shorty that's talking about $1,000. I don't even know the nigga name. You know Big Mark ain't ducking nothing. Big Mark, man, listen, Big Mark ain't ducking nothing, no smoke. Big Mark done been to war in these box truck streets and came out victorious every time. We lock and loaded. We lock and loaded. Big Mark done been to war. Y'all been following the channel. Y'all seen it. Big Mark been standing on. Been naive. Been naive. Oh, man, this shit funny to me, bro. So they come across their favorite box. They come across their favorite box truck person, right? And they telling them, they giving them these low numbers, these $1,000 numbers. To me, I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Motherfucker tell me you can start a trucking business for $1,000. B, I will be, ain't your goofy ass out of here, boy. Your ass
goofy as hell.
$1,000. Hell no. Hell no, you can't start for no G-ball. I don't even know why Buddy's saying that shit. But he young. And he doing the social media thing because if you pay attention, it's one of these. Click this. And I'm gonna show you how. So I sell you on a low barrier to entry to get you hyped up so that you click down here and boom. That's where the real money made. It's called a sales funnel. Can't knock them for that. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Big Mark ain't listening to no kids, man. Listen, any of y'all niggas out there that's old as fuck and y'all be coming to me complaining, what do I be telling y'all? I don't hold back from y'all. I say, why are you listening to these kids? This motherfucker is a kid. I'm not listening to a motherfucker that can't tell me. Listen, I lost a core supporter earlier this year, last year. His name was Tyran. Call him by name. You know what? He said, man, I want to be a life coach. He's 24, 25. I said, life coach? Big Mark gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm not sugarcoating. I'm like, how you gonna be a life coach? You 25. Well, man, he tried to explain. I said, Brian, you ain't got enough life experience. If I came to you to coach, how can you coach me on life? I'm 20 years older than you. We had a knockdown, drag out debate. I ain't seen him since. This motherfucker was in the Discord every day. Ain't seen him since. He was in the chat every day. He probably felt like I was crushing his dreams. What I told him was the truth. It's not hate. How can you at 25 who hasn't experienced enough life coach somebody on life? You can't coach your peers on life. You can't coach an older person on you on life. You don't have enough experience. Have you bought a home? What experience? What failures have you had? What back against the wall situations, real bad situations have you had in life? Have you experienced something very detrimental in life and you've had to get your way up out of it to be able to coach somebody from life to get her to maneuver around these pitfalls in life? You ain't even started really living life yet. Now, I could have sat there and bullshitted them and just kicked it with them and just agreed and shit, but I hit him with that harsh reality of a person that's 20 years older than him, and I hit him with facts. How would you advise me out of this? How would you advise me out of that? How could you advise me out of this? He couldn't give me the information. I'm not listening to no shorty. Now, some people they're gonna probably come in the comment section. They gonna come. Don't worry about it. They finna come. They finna come. Give it a second. They finna come. They don't like when Big Mark say that. Man, I'm not listening to no shorty. Fuck you talking about? Fuck I'm gonna listen to a shorty for? Fucking shorty can't tell me shit. So when y'all come to me privately and man, Joe, and I'm speaking from, I ain't making this shit up. These real conversation motherfuckers come to me complaining about some shit that they bought. And then they'll tell me, I'm like, man, buddy, that's a shorty. Like, what you expect? This is what I say to a motherfucker. What you expect, motherfucker, a shorty? Man, I ain't. Bro, clear my line. You 40 years old, motherfucker 50 years old coming to me complaining about something they bought or got misled by a motherfucker that's 26. Damn, man. You know what they say? Man, you right. You right. I just wasn't thinking at the time. Man, that motherfucker. My son, I got a son older than that. I said, bro, I said, you got a phone, don't you? I'm like, you could have just Googled this information. Man, I just bought into, man, the hype and I just liked him, man. He just was like, well, that's the selling point. You got sold. Can't knock him. Don't come to me thinking I'm finna pity party like motherfuckers be coming to me trying to defend their battles. Nigga, I'm not the defender of you being taken for a ride. It's the truth. You gonna get it with me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So you get sold on this low barrier to entry. Low barrier to entry, low barrier to failure. That's how you should look at it. Any business that's a low barrier to entry, the barrier to failure is low too. Every industry that's easy to enter, 99.9% of the time is brutally competitive. Facts. Thin margins, unforgiving to mistakes. And most people that enter are entering for the wrong reasons. They're undercapitalized and they have invested into something that they absolutely know nothing about. And that's due to them. You can always understand what you're investing in, but most people that enter into industries like this, they don't. Most people are looking for a quick come up because everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to lay on the beach. Everybody want to go shopping and don't have to look at the price tags. I get it. So everybody's looking for something that's low barrier to entry, but everybody else is looking for the same thing, and these are the same people you're competing against. The tangible asset, the truck. Truck feel like progress. Person get a truck, whether they buy it or whether they rent it. What's the first thing they do? Just acquiring the truck. You see people, listen, I swear for God, everything I love. Listen. They finna get mad at Big Mark. You know Big Mark do things to piss him off. I do purposely. You know I don't give a fuck. Listen. What's the first thing a motherfucker do when they get their box truck? Hit the like button. We got 30 likes. See, they don't like this. I told you they weren't gonna like it. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. You know what? We ain't gonna continue until the likes get 50%. It's 76 people, it's only 30 likes. Chauncey did another super chat. Appreciate that super chat. We ain't gonna continue. They finna leave now. Watch the people leave because they ain't gonna want to hit the like button. Check this out. Watch this. I'm gonna show y'all something. Watch this. We ain't gonna continue until the likes get 50%. I need them 50%ers. I need 50%er likes. But we ain't gonna continue. It's 80 people in here now. Ooh, they holding back. Didn't I tell you? They don't want to hear it. They only want to hit the like button. They don't want to hit it. It's too hard. The Grinch. Don't get mad. Big Mark finna listen. I'm going back to listen. I'm finna get off this live. I'm finna go spend me some more money. I'm finna go buy some more gifts. Hit the like button. We gotta get these. I don't know what like. Okay, it went from 80 back to 76. Is we at 50% yet? We at 50%. All right, bet. We back. I told you. Big Mark be playing. You know, this is all fun to me. I love this. This is fun. I like this, man. This is cool. I like coming here talking and shit. This is fun. Because I don't got nothing but to tell you the truth. Whether you like it or not. I like the critics. I like the detractors. I like the people that like me. I like it all. It's fun to me. I'll be talking shit to the detractors. They thinking they gonna come in the comment section and detract. And they see Big Mark slide right up under there. Whoop with the they be shocked. Yeah, Big Mark I engage with the detractors. I engage and then I screenshot you and you become my goofy comment of the week.
Yo, goof ass. Goofy as hell.
I got buttons. I got all types of shit going on. I invest a lot of money in this motherfucker to come talk shit. This is fun. So what's the first thing we see people do when they get their box truck? They got to do the infamous post, the infamous Instagram post. Hashtag. Listen, the infamous post. We on the big camera, the front camera. Yeah. Here you go. And then in the caption, this is what they put. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. New business owner alert. Hold on. Then they put the little emoji. Hold on. We gotta find the emoji. Where that little red? What's that? Oh no, it's the siren. What's that little red? Is that a siren they put? The little red thing. The little woo with the top of the ambulance. I can't find it, bro. Whatever. But you know what I'm talking about. They put this hashtag new business owner alert. That's what they put. So I'm like, damn, nigga, you geeked up over some shit that ain't yours? Nigga, you geeked up over some shit that ain't yours. The validation. They seeking validation. A real motherfucker ain't finna got time to go to no goddamn TikTok to post a picture. A real motherfucker where they own the truck or they rent the truck, first thing they gonna go do is try to figure out how to go get some money. Nigga, I'm not going to the Instagram to post. I'm trying to go get to the bag. I don't got time to post. Soon as I see this motherfucker right here, check it out. Especially a motherfucker who doing it on a rental truck. I say, oh, he gonna fall into 90%. He gonna fall into 90%. Yeah, that motherfucker worry about the wrong shit. He looking for validation. I told you they was gonna leave. Didn't I tell you? I said, watch this. I told you we went from 80 to 60. I told you I was gonna get them up out of here. I don't want them here anyway. They ain't gonna make it. They part of the 90%. We don't want them here. I told you they was gonna leave. I know how to get people up out of here. They only want to know where the money at. Nah, fuck that. I'm talking shit today. I feel like talking shit. Because the motherfuckers came on some Grinch shit. I said, you want to play Grinch? I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna sit here and talk shit. I'm gonna teach you something while I'm talking shit to you. So you post your picture on your rental truck or the truck you bought, talking about new business owner alert. That gives you that proof of progress. You feel like you own a business. You on your way. You escaped the system. I escaped the system. The truck becomes a psychological trophy for you. You ain't did shit yet. Any motherfucker that I ever seen do this picture, I said they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it. If you did that and you knew, ownership of equipment doesn't equate to ownership of business. Don't let that go over your head. Just because you got a truck, whether you own it or you renting it, doesn't equate to ownership of business. It doesn't. The truck is dumb. It doesn't have a brain. Stupid. It's just a piece of metal and wood. The box is made out of wood, sheet metal. Stupid. The truck is stupid. Every truck I've owned is stupid. Every truck that you own is stupid. Every truck that you rented is stupid. Your brain controls whether it's going to make money or if it's not. If you don't think about what to do with it, it's just going to sit there. It's just a truck. That's it. If you don't have no contracts, if you don't understand your cost, you don't understand pricing discipline, controlling your cost, knowing your cost, understanding your cost, leverage, operational leverage, truck ain't gonna never move. It's just a large depreciating liability. It only becomes an asset when it's making money. If it's not making money, it becomes a liability. 90% of the people that come into this industry bought a liability. They were sold as an asset. It only becomes an asset when you use your mind and use your mind as the vehicle to drive the truck into profitability. Truck don't got a mind. When I see people like, yeah, I got a truck, I'm going to be honest with you. I once thought that too. I said, as long as I got trucks, these trucks are always going to make money. I said that very, very, very early on. But I'm smart. I realized that wasn't true. Not for the reasons that these reasons. It's just 13, 14 years ago, I wasn't aware of the shift in mindset as far as the way people look at work, new technology that would create an entirely new ecosystem of how people make money that would ultimately lead to the shift in the mindset of how society looks at work. The influence on social media, because back then social media was an infant. It was in its infancy, not social media, I'm sorry. Influencership. It was in its infancy stages early, mid 2010s. Influencership didn't start until Instagram, 2012, 2013. Those were the early stages of influencership. Stuff didn't exist. So the truck is just a depreciating liability if you don't. Most people didn't invest in box trucking as a business. They invested in a feeling. 100% emotions. This whole anti-boss thing. Be your own boss. Not everybody can be their own boss. More uncomfortable truths. I'm sorry. Everybody can't be a boss. Most people come up here. What did you hear? Man, Mark, I gotta do this, man. You know I gotta do this. You ain't got it. All your successful people that you look up to, your Elons, your Jeffs, Bernard Arnault, Peter Thiel, the list goes on. I think we can all agree on one thing. They're going to put business before they put anything. Some of them may be Christians or believe in some faith. Some of them may be atheists. Obviously, I'm putting God first, and then it's business, and then it's everything else. And most people who believe in a faith, they put their faith first, then business, then everything else. We see a lot of people that come up on the show, and they don't have that structure. You want to be your own boss, but you're not willing to put in the work to be successful as a boss. Just a boss is just a title. That's it. It's just a label. There's a lot of bosses out here nowadays. You get an LLC, most people think, oh, I got my own business. What you got? Yeah, I got a trucking business. How many people we've come up and they said they had the trucking business? And then in the conversation, they don't have nothing. They ain't even got started yet. They think the LLC qualifies them to be a boss. You got an LLC, bro. You ain't did nothing else than the next motherfucker who got $150. Yeah, I got a trucking business. All right, man. So how many trucks you got? Oh, I ain't got it yet. Yeah, I bought the LLC last year. Okay. So you run around telling people you a boss. See what I'm saying? A boss in 2026 that don't mean shit no more. You don't want to clock in. You don't want a manager breathing down your neck. You come into this business, you really don't eliminate none of that. You actually multiply it, especially OTR guys, final mile guys. Final mile guys, you're dealing with 3PLs, dispatchers, you're dealing with 3PL soups, right? You're dealing with a metric system nowadays. You're dealing with surveys. If you get bad surveys, it's going to affect you. If you get bad surveys and you get a lot of claims, it's going to affect you. You're going to have an ops supervisor breathing down your neck. Dispatch is going to start to reroute you and give you less stops. OTR, you're dealing with brokers. You guys hate brokers. The brokers are in control of your destiny for most of y'all, because y'all don't know y'all numbers to be able to even negotiate correctly or to be able to understand what's profitable or not profitable. So a broker is 100% dictating your fate when you don't know your numbers. You have no control over your business. You are actually an underpaid worker. Anybody that don't know their numbers to me, I'm finna piss them off. Check this out. Watch this. Check this out. You a worker. You can't never classify yourself as a boss if you don't know your operational costs. You can't. I don't give a fuck what nobody told you. I don't care about your LLC. Everybody that's done came up on this channel that don't know they costs and they cost per mile, to me, you not a boss. You a worker. You a hustler. You ain't a boss. Bosses know our numbers. Bosses know our numbers down to the T. We know our numbers because we like money. Can't no motherfucker that like money don't know their numbers. You can't like money. If you don't know your numbers, you don't like money. So why you say, yo, you want to come into the industry to make money when you don't even know your numbers? You can't know your numbers. You can't like money if you don't know your numbers. You a worker. You ain't no boss. We ain't honoring it. You multiplied your bosses. You know what you tell the broker, the OTR guys? What's the best you can do? Nigga, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. This is what I can do. Boss going to tell motherfucker what they can do. What's the best you can do? And some of y'all be like, man, what's the best you could do for me, boss? Some of y'all say, man, what's the best you could do for me, boss? Some of y'all call him a boss. Man, what's the best you could do for me, boss? I don't know, boss. I don't know. What's the best you think you can give me at, boss? And the broker already know right there, that motherfucker, that's that verbiage right there. I'm giving you a little bit of game. Some of your favorite people ain't finna give you this game either because they not gonna give it to you because they don't know to give it to you. Big Mark feeling generous is Christmas. You tell a motherfucker, if I'm a broker and you come to me and you ask me what's the best you can do for me, I already know. He don't know his numbers. A boss gonna tell you what it is. I would never ask nobody what's the best you can do for me unless I'm the spender. When I go somewhere and I'm trying to Jew somebody down on a price, yo, if I go somewhere and I go to a dealership, yo, you want 100 for it? What if I give you 90? I got 90 cash. You knock 10,000 off. That's the only way I'm gonna ask a motherfucker what's the best you can do. Cause I'm spending money. As a boss, you make money. I'm never finna ask nobody what's the best they can do for me. And I know my numbers. I know what I can do. I'm setting the standard. Yo, this is what I can do it for. Yo, I see it. Yo, I can do it for this. No, I can't do it. All right, man, thanks. Have a good day. I'm not finna ask nobody that's a middleman what's the best they can do. You just gave yourself away, goofy.
Goofy as hell. Yo, goof ass.
I'm a broker. You asking me what's the best I can do for you. It's your business, nigga.
I don't give a fuck about a cost per mile.
Your boss is the broker. Your boss is your dispatchers. The shippers, the receivers is your boss. Customers are your boss. Insurance companies is your boss. The DOT compliance officers is your boss. They're all your boss. This is all your boss. Ain't no such thing as freedom. When people tell me, oh, I'm coming to business so I could get freedom. How? I was never, in trucking, never free. I became a slave to this shit. Where's the freedom? If you ultimately want to be successful, the freedom, you become a slave. If you really doing shit the right way, you slaving. You're slaving for your creation. You become a slave for your creation. Free and slavery don't mix. How can you be free when you fucking working 18, 19, 20 hours? Freedom comes later. You got left a job to be free in business. That shit don't even make sense. I don't understand this shit. Free. Freedom is earned. If you just start, you a long way from freedom. If you classify the job as a plantation, okay, you leaving one plantation to come to another. You created this plantation. I was and have always been more of a slave for my creation, because at the end of the day, if I don't become the slave and make shit shake, nobody else is going to do it. See, when you work a job or a career, you can call off. You got PTO. If you don't, if it's like a part-time thing, you can just call off. When you got a business, you don't get that luxury. So where's the free at? You ain't earned it. You earned the free when you build a business up to the point where you can sell it and walk away from it. When you build systems in place and you use that successful business to build other businesses. Freedom. You leave one plantation to come to another. Except the plantation that you create, you're going to be more of a slave. You should be. Most people aren't. That's why in this industry you see the failure rate is so high, because they don't want to put that work in. They get mad at me for telling them the truth. Oh, you in the house. You ain't out here. No more. I'm telling you how to get the money and get in the house too. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to be a slave for, who wants to be a slave for the rest of their life? I like just talking shit, to be honest with you. This shit is cool. Imagine making a lot of money and then you have a hobby where you could just talk shit. I talked shit yesterday. I did some Christmas shopping, went to the gym, had to get an earful from somebody. Came back last night. I seen Slick Turbo and a few people who was in here, talk some more shit. Went to bed, got up, had a good hearty breakfast. Came back to talk a little bit more shit. See, when you can do what you want to do when you want to do it and still be able to live comfortably and move and maneuver how you want to, that's freedom. But you don't get that overnight. You got to work. You got to beat yourself up. You got to have some blood, some sweat, some tears, a lot of just trials and tribulations that you have to maneuver through and come out on the winning side of it, and then continue to build, grow, all while making good decisions. You got to make more good decisions than you make bad decisions. A lot of sacrifices, a lot of no. You might have to tell a lot of people no, a lot of discipline, right? Because the road to success and growing is boring. It gets boring because you do the same thing every day. It's repetitive, long days, constantly thinking about business. Smart people that are growing in their years and years, they're always thinking about the numbers. We're always thinking about the numbers, how we can make more money. We're looking at the numbers. We're obsessed with the numbers. We're checking our bank accounts multiple times a day. We're always looking at numbers. We're looking at numbers again. We're looking at numbers again. We're looking at numbers again. We're always looking at numbers. I don't understand how that's free. Hey, Mark, you free? We taking a trip. Nope, I'm not free. I got to work. Man, you got a business. I got to be there. Freedom comes later. You got to earn it. Most people don't get that chance in this business. 90% don't get that chance. They fail. 90%. That's crazy, ain't it? That's a big number. I don't want to talk about social media. I'm just tired of talking about how people get taken advantage of by social media. Listen, I'm going to sum the social media bullet point, my bullet point for social media. Listen, If you a person who is not very, very naive to the point where you just believe fallacies and just things that sound too good to be true, I got a bridge for sale. It's in Brooklyn. I've owned it for about 10 years now, and I just don't have a use for it no more. If you interested in buying a bridge, I got it for the low though too. I just want to get rid of it. I got it for the low. I got a bridge for sale in Brooklyn. Just hit me on the DM. If you that type of individual that just think fat meat ain't greasy, and you think that shit is sweet, and you think shit is easy, and you think that something that is so easy that not everybody is doing it, I got a bridge for sale for you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You're not getting away out your job. Trucking is not a ticket, an easy ticket out of not working. It's not a money machine. It's not a flexible lifestyle. It's work. Work, more work and more work. It's a operation that requires someone to always be running it. The truck becomes a moving, mobile expense center that needs someone always managing the numbers. A business that's built heavily with compliance around it, especially OTR, always needs someone staying on top of it. A business that's cash flow sensitive. What do we know? 90-something% of the people in this industry don't know their numbers. Why? Because they freedom. They came into this business for freedom, and that's what they got because they not working, so they free. They free more of the time than working, and this is why they in the 90%. You bought the truck, you got the insurance down payment, you got your initial fees paid, and that's it. That's enough money you came in with, but you didn't prepare mentally, right? Because we talking about the psychology of it. The psychology aspect of it just told you bare minimum the entry, and that's all you planned for. You didn't prepare for the unforeseen situations. You didn't prepare for the inconsistent revenue, especially around now. This is why the Grinches is out right now. I see every year around this time, you see Grinches in the comments because of the truth. Every year, it never fails. Christmas and January, Grinches. Because this is when this is when failure happens in the box truck industry. The most failure, a lot of failure happens around this time is when people give up. And either they give up because they realize, we ain't gonna make it, or they get pushed out, right? Right now, all the way through January. And then you see it in the comment section. Pay attention. I'm gonna start highlighting it, guys. We're gonna do a highlight weekly segment of the failures, the Grinch failures of the season. It's always now. I'm gonna start highlighting the comments, guys. Don't worry about it. You didn't prepare for customer disputes and claims if you're in final mile. Inconsistent revenue, like I said. Maintenance cycles. A lot of people just running on hope. Didn't expect a breakdown soon. Pressure and pricing pressure. Decision fatigue. All these people that didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't invest in business. They invested in hope. I have limited capital. I'm hoping it works out, bro. I will never do no shit like that, bro. Never. The whole money thing, like Buddy yesterday, Young Blood yesterday, I hope he watching. Let me tell you about people who say, when I ask them, why you want to do this? Oh, I just want to make money. These are these type of people when money is the only motivation. These are the people that are chasing bad lows. These are the people that ask a broker, what's the best you could do for me, boss? They just chasing the number. They don't know they cost. That's why they fail. So this is how they accept underpriced work. This is why they ignore wear and tear. This is why they skip reserves. This is why they overextend themselves too fast. They don't know how to be patient. They don't understand the art of negotiation. They don't understand asking questions. This is why they confuse revenue with profits. This is the people that confuse gross revenue with net. And anybody that tells me, and this is why I'm so good at this, I'm giving you my tricks. I ain't gonna give you all of them, I'm gonna give you some of them. When I ask people certain questions, I may not, antagonize them or hold them accountable for. If I held everybody accountable for every little thing, we would never get through some of these shows. People that tell me that, I know they don't have a plan. Because your mission statement is the first thing that's part of your plan. And anybody that has that in their mission statement is just cuckoo. Every business punishes emotional decision making. Every single business, especially businesses that are low barrier to entry. Business rewards patience. Business rewards consistency. In order to be consistent, especially in this business, you have to make sure you have the resources, because you're going to go through seasonality. You're going to go through all the things that I talked about a minute ago. And you need support to be consistent. You can't be consistent in a downturn in the economy or a downturn in the marketplace as it pertains to trucking if you are undercapitalized. You can want to be consistent, but if you're not undercapitalized, you don't have the resources, you're going to fail. Cost, you have to know it. Knowing your numbers. This will never get old. Until we see a transition of more people coming up that know their numbers versus don't, then that's when we'll stop talking about it. But right now, we're still at 100% people that don't know their numbers. It's crazy. This is crazy. This is unfathomable. I would never thought in a million years that people who come into business refuse to do their numbers. It's to the point now where people will come up and say, Mark, I know you're going to get on me. I ain't going to lie. I don't know my numbers. I don't do them. Why you don't do them? I don't know, man. I don't know why I don't do them. This shit is crazy to me, bro. This shit is just crazy to me. This has become an identity industry. People just want to run off identity. I went from an employee to an owner. I'm not replaceable no more. I'm an essential business owner. I went from being trapped to in control. You're not in control of nothing when you don't know what, your numbers. You asking a broker, man, what's the best you can do for me, boss? That doesn't sound like control to me. It's validation. The truck becomes a symbol of respect, self-respect. It becomes a symbol of adulthood. It becomes a symbol of validation for your 102 Instagram followers or your 5,000 TikTok followers. It becomes a symbol of validation for you. That's it. You got no structure. And that's why you stress. And that's why now on December 23rd, going into the remainder of the year, and then the people who still got enough in the tank to get through the next week or two, go into January. When January hit, that's it. This is why the negativity, the frowning, the sadness, the grinchy, bitchy shit that we see every year around this time. And to be honest with you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you invested into something that you didn't understand. You get out of it what you put in it. And if you don't want to put in what's required from a logical thinking, and you thinking just because you get a truck, it's just going to work out, my friend, you are sadly mistaken. All right. Phone line is open. I guess Chauncey Simmons, the great Chauncey Simmons, is going to call up. Oh, I'm so excited to talk to Chauncey Simmons. Chauncey Simmons, I'm so excited. Listen, I've never been so excited to talk to anybody more than Chauncey Simmons. Chauncey Simmons, I've been waiting for this conversation for 2 years. Chauncey Simmons, call up. Listen, we're going to talk to Chauncey Simmons today, guys. We're going to talk to Chauncey Simmons. I'm so excited. Chauncey Simmons, now where you at, pimp? I told you I was going to open the lines for you. We know you here, Chauncey. We know you here. We know you here, Chauncey. We know you here. Phone line is open, pimp. 312-772-5483. 54. 83. You dig? I'm going to have to start coming on earlier every day, man, because this is right around the time I'll be coming on. Shit. I might start coming on about 12 every day. Chauncey, where you at, pimp? Yeah. Man, that Neil said I thought it was peak season. Where you at, pimp? Hey, pimp, listen, man. Listen. Come on, Chauncey. I've been waiting. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all, keep the line clear. Don't nobody call up. We keeping the line clear for Chauncey. We keeping the line clear for Chauncey. Everybody, clear out. Clear out. Get out the way. Clear out. Clear out. Don't call. Don't nobody call. We keeping the lines open for Chauncey. Here we go. And it's a St. Louis area code. This might be it. Chauncey, is that you?
Chauncey, is that you?
Chauncey.
What up, Mark?
What's up, man? Is this Chauncey?
Hey, my bad. I'm walking my dogs and charging my phone.
Is this Chauncey?
Listen, I agree with most of the stuff you say, but us as black people, we fuck off so much money. I'm like, shit, why not give yourself a chance? I did it on a chance. All this Kush niggas be buying, all these Jordans and all that shit. Get your LLC, get your EIN. That's all I'm saying. Take a chance. I'm not saying you might fail, you might not. I'm just saying take a chance. We stand in line for these Jordans. We stand in line for Lululemon and all this other shit. And the $5,000 worked for me because you don't need all the money up front. Sorry if I'm loud or yelling. I just came from the dog park. But all I'm saying is you could piece it out. Like that pair of Jordans niggas be buying, that's your LLC right there. Them Lululemon shit niggas be buying, that's your EIN. That's your BOC3 or UCR. So I'm not saying 5K could work. If you want to make it work, it can work. And sometimes people don't have the capital. Sometimes you got to go on chance. I'm not saying everybody. It's like me. I took a chance. I had 5 bands and I didn't have no capital, but you got to have grind and hustle. And some people have it naturally, and some people have to learn as they go. There's nothing like on-the-job training. Will you fail? Yes, you might. Do you have all the capital in the world? No, you may not, but you got to take a chance. I understand from the blue-collar standpoint where you're coming from, but sometimes where we come from, we got to just take a chance. All these big companies, all these Fortune 500s, they took a chance. They didn't all have capital to start. Shit, Microsoft was started in a garage with a computer. He got loans later on, but it ain't like he started from the top. He started in his garage. So I disagree with a little bit what you're saying, but I'm just saying as a people, black people, we fuck off so much money on bullshit. Niggas will buy spend thousands of dollars on Kush, Jordans, and purple jeans and True Religion, all that bullshit that don't matter. But then they say they can't start a business for 5 bands, but they can spend 5 bands on bullshit. So, and you don't need all the 5 bands at one time. So the biggest thing you need, you could have the biggest blueprint, but if you don't have the hustle and grind, and if you don't learn as you go, that's the most important thing. Because when I came out here, I studied everybody. I didn't know nothing, but I did my due diligence. So I understand where you're coming from in a way, but sometimes if you got 5 bands and you're going to fuck it off anyway, get your LLC 1 month. In the next month when you're waiting for them Jordans to come out, get a piece of it here, get a piece of it there. You don't got to do it all at one time. So when you do something like just me, I had enough money and grind and hustle for 2 weeks worth of gas, but I knew I was going to make it work. And some people have to take that leap of faith and try to see if it's going to work, because you're not going to always have the capital. A couple of times in your life, you might have 5 bands at one time on average, the average poor person. So shit, why not just risk that 5 bands and at least say you try?
So let me ask you.
That's all I'm saying, Mark. I just want you to see other people's point of view that's done it like you, like me. I got 2 rental trucks on the road. I'm in a van right now. I done the contract. You see some of the knowledge I be spitting at you. I'm not saying I know it all, but I'm not no goofy. So all I'm saying is some of these dudes, they got to take a chance. They flip that pack, or you know what I'm saying? You flip a pack for 5 bands, start a business with that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to do it all at one time. I'm not saying you might not have all the capital in the world. Yeah, you might fail, you might not, but you're failing anyway by buying all that bullshit that you buying. You think you winning by buying Jordans and all that? You losing anyway.
You focus.
So that's my point.
Hold on. You focusing on one demographic within a demographic.
Well, that's because you said that's what the demographic you're speaking to. So am I.
Okay. So
when I said
hold on. Let's have a conversation. I'll let you cook, because I've been waiting to talk to you for a couple of years.
I got you.
You speaking on a demographic within a demographic. I don't, and in your situation, you just expounded. You said you were very, very, very undercapitalized. You admitted. You said you only had a couple weeks of gas, right? But do you understand, and I think I said it recently, yes, are there people that come in undercapitalized that are an anomaly? Yes. You understand that you are an anomaly. You don't make up the majority of people that come in your situation. You understand that, right?
I agree. Hold on. Let me say one little comment. I'll let you cook. I completely agree with that. But 99% of that is because people don't take the chance. 99% of the time shit don't happen is because people don't take the chance. So you could say shoulda, woulda, coulda, but there's tons of people who could do it like me that could make it like me, and there's going to be tons of people that are not. But if they're not trying, that's what I'm emphasizing.
We're talking about people that come in. If they came in the same way they did try, we're talking about the majority. The majority that come in undercapitalized fail. I'm just saying the anomaly
to see if they're uncapitalized or not, or even to know their situation. They got to give it a chance and try it first. It's easy to say, yeah, I don't have enough money for this. But if you just piece it out enough, like I said, this kind of business, you don't need all the money up front. Do you need capital? Yes, I completely agree. But sometimes some people got to get it out the mud, so then they could be the blueprint for other people who don't have to get it out the mud.
Okay.
Just like me, I tell people too, I'm like, is my way going to work for you? I can't say, because you didn't try. You didn't even give it a chance. You were just like, oh man, 5K is not enough. I don't, and I don't have enough capital, which is true. But if you have that mindset, you can have $20,000 and fail. So that's all. It's just crazy how backwards it is. Somebody can have $50,000, get a truck, get Amazon and all that, and fail. But then you got people look down on the person who has 5 bands that they're going to fuck off anyway, that they can spread out over a few months and get their business started and at least take a chance to see what happens.
We can't.
Even if I invest 5 bands and I fail, I'm like, fuck it. I was going to buy Jordans and trees and shit with it anyway, so who cares? It's not like I was going to, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I was going to do something important with the money anyway. So I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. People fail. Yes, you need capital.
Okay.
But sometimes people got to get it out the mud with the last money they got and at least give it a chance to see if it'll work. Because I've been in situations, I've got contracts, I've got offers on stuff that I never even thought or believed was going to happen. So it's just the biggest thing, and I'm saying our demographic, but it's everybody. People don't take a chance first. Just take a chance and try. All that money you're going to spend on bullshit, I'm just saying, just give it a chance. And like I keep saying, you don't need all the bread up front. You could piece it out. That's what I did. I didn't have all the money up front, but you don't need it. You got 21 days for your authority. So that gives you 3-4 weeks right there to, and, you know, shop for insurance. And it's the lack of knowledge, too. I understand that, but people don't even give themselves a chance to try to figure out. If you don't give it a chance, how you going to call the insurance to know which insurance to call, or to get a broker for insurance instead of calling them directly? Or if you don't give yourself a chance to learn none of that, then you ain't going to never, you ain't going to never know.
Here's
to me, they're like on the job training. That's how I learned the best.
Here's where you losing me, because most people that fail, they come in the same situation. So they did try. They did try. If they came in, the 90% that come in and failed, majority of that 90% came in the same way you came in. So they did
to me,
try.
there's a difference between giving yourself a chance and trying. To me, that's two. Once you're given the chance, the trying is up to you. That's the grind and the hustle. So we can't put trying and chance in the same thing, because once you've given that chance, that's when the trying comes in. Try to hustle, try to do everything you can to keep the business afloat. If you don't have that hustle and grind, you can have all the chance you want, because chance is what? When opportunity meets. So I understand at a certain point, you can get to a certain point, want to quit or whatever, but you can have different amounts of money and still fail. And like I said, I'm a living witness. I did it with $5,000. I actually did it less than that because I got a good driving record.
And what do I always say? I say, you are the anomaly. There's going to be people that slip through the cracks because they may have the hustle, they may have the grind.
Hold on. Am I the anomaly because people failed, or am I more?
You gotta let me finish, bro. I'll let you cook. Timing could play. There could be a multitude of variables, but there's always going to be people that make a way out of no way. I talk about it all the time. Yeah. I feel like I was one of those people. But what you fail to realize is that in the position that I sit, I understand that you're an anomaly. You want to give hope to a majority of people that are going to do what they do anyway, and that's fail. Yes, you are the anomaly. You are the person that came in and you busted your behind and you made some shit shake. It goes back to what I said. People come into business thinking the business is going to run itself. No, you have to spearhead the business. Right. Yeah. You are one of the people. You are the anomaly. The majority can't do what you did. So when I sit here, where I sit as far as influencership, I can't say, yo, come in with 5,000 and you're going to be like Chauncey Simmons, when I know 90% that come in the same way of Chauncey Simmons is not going to be able to maneuver the same way Chauncey Simmons did, and they're going to fail. So there's going to be a bunch of people that's coming in thinking they can do what you did. They're not going to do what you did, and then they're going to be mad at me, right? So I have to tell people the correct way to come in, right? The correct way to come in, because I understand that people aren't going to navigate the way you did. I have to give the blueprint. The straightforward blueprint. Yo, you need capital, right? You need capital. You probably came in, that 5,000 you said, that was everything you had, and you knew you had to make shit shake. Your back was against the wall. Everybody don't operate well in a back against the wall situation.
Yeah, but that's why they need to learn ahead of time. That's the mentality you need to have. So that's the thing. I understand everybody don't have the same mentality, but like I said, that's what I harp on, is nobody tries. Even if I fail, I'd rather fail trying than saying, oh, I can't do it because this and that. That's all I'm saying. Will it work? Sometimes you got to be naive.
How much was your insurance down?
You got to be a little naive. You got to be a little narcissistic. You got to be a little stubborn, a little bullheaded. You got to be all that in one to make it work. So that's all. My big thing is I see people mess off money on other shit, $1,000 car notes so they could drive an Escalade and all that. When you could be renting a box truck and running, you know, I'm not promoting renting versus buying. That depends on your situation, but I rent doing just fine. So, and I understand I'm an anomaly, but I think I'm more an anomaly not because people try and fail. It's people that don't try at all. They don't give it a chance because they don't realize how simple it is to get your LLC, get your EIN, get your authority. They think it's some crazy thing that they can't achieve. It's something off the wall. Now, the hustle, the grind, learning the business and all that, I think is just get started and face it. Get something, but that's when you're, you know what I'm saying? When you hit the ground running, that's when your instincts are going to kick in. Either when you get thrown in the water, you're going to swim or you're going to drown. Not everybody has the capital to take the steps into the pool. Sometimes you got to get thrown in that motherfucker and see if you can swim or not. Because you could have 50,000 worth of capital, but if I throw your ass in that pool and you drown, what does that 50 bands do? But then I could find somebody who got the grind and hustle with 5 bands and could do laps back and forth in the pool. So that's all I'm saying. As a people, black, white, orange, purple, just try.
And I hear you,
just try.
But we cannot promote to the majority of people to jump in the water undercapitalized and hope you can swim. You understand how dangerous that is, right?
I understand. No, yeah, don't get me wrong. I understand how dangerous it is, but I'm speaking from the perspective of people who are going to spend that money on something else. So if you're, say, in a month or two, if you're fucking off 5 bands, then you could fuck off 5 bands and lose it. So if you're spending it on shit that's not an asset or is not getting you money, then to me, you can afford to blow that 5 bands and risk a business. And if you fail, oh well. Because like I said, you fail with the 5 bands by not doing nothing with it anyway. So you're not accomplished because you bought purple jeans and Jordans and all that. So I understand if you go in undercapitalized, there's a chance you might fail, but that's when your instincts, your grind, you need to study knowledge and all. That's when it kicks in. I'm just saying, jump in and try and at least try. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you're going to be undercapitalized sometimes, but like I'm saying, you got to look at the opposite. There's some people who come in overcapitalized, spend too much money, make 2 big crucial decisions because they think they have money and they fail too. So all I try to get you to do is see both sides of the table, because you can come in with capital and not have the knowledge, but I got a bank full of money but not have the knowledge. I'd rather take a person with the knowledge, hustle and grind with 5K than take a goofy with 50K in the truck. So that's all I'm saying.
So
and I want you to tell me what I'm right about and what I'm wrong. Like, because you always say what people are wrong about, but you'll say you understand what people are saying, but you'll never say what they're right about saying. You just focus on what's
I do. But see here, Chauncey, you got to understand, when in the seat that I sit in as far as influence, I cannot give people hope that I know the majority of people are going to take and fail, bro. You are the anomaly. I'm the anomaly, bro. A lot of people ain't going to be able to,
because they're afraid to fail. I think there's plenty of people out there that did it with 5 bands, but because what you're saying, right or wrong, people are scared to admit it. I know 10, 15 people that ain't on YouTube that started with 5 bands. And I know it's an anomaly. I agree with you, but I'm just saying it can be done. But when people just have it in their mind that, I can't do it, then you're failing from the beginning.
We can't. But see, you keep not understand what I'm saying. Where I sit, as far as influence, I can't preach hope to a minuscule amount of people. I have to give the truth to the majority. The majority people fail. Would you agree to that or not?
No, I agree. Okay. But to me, if they take the chance, that shouldn't be on your back. People know what you preach and what you're about. But all you got to do is do the other side. Like, hey, if you want to take the chance and jump in the water, take the chance. But here's what come with it. Don't deter them from jumping in the water at all. That's what I'll be saying. Don't say don't jump in the water. Say if you're going to jump in the water, here's what you need. You need a life vest. You need somebody watching you.
Let me tell you what you're not understanding, bro. And I keep going back to it. You are an anomaly in your situation for a reason. I'm an anomaly in my situation for a reason. What you had to do to persevere, undercapitalize, what I did, right? 98% of the people are not going to do it. So why waste time? I'm not going to waste time with a bunch. The majority is not going to persevere. They're not going to do. They're not going to make the sacrifices. They're not going to do the discipline. I'm not here and coddle.
We're just assuming though if they don't try though.
Bro, listen.
Because we can say what somebody will and won't do, but if they don't try, that's just an assumption.
Chauncey, you've seen enough case studies come up, and just talking to you, you're not no fool. You hear some of the shit people say when they come up here. You hear some of the shit people say.
Did other people's business fail and stop you?
Stop me?
Yeah.
No, I pray on people. I pray on people.
I'm like, just because somebody else's situation is a certain situation, that doesn't mean when you start or you get in a certain situation that your situation is going to be like.
See, no, I like ignorant people. If you want to remain ignorant, I'm going to take advantage of you, 100%. So you can get money with me, or I'm going to get money off you. Either way, I'm going to get money.
In the business in a way that everybody has a little bit of ignorance. Not everybody.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I've had people that come up here that have said, yo, I know I'm supposed to do my numbers, but I don't do them. I don't know, Mark. You know, I know you're going to get on me. I don't know. Like, come on, bro. I can't. Listen.
That's elementary.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking to these goofies who don't even know their numbers or know.
So hold on. Let me tell you something. That's the majority. See, you keep.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So if the majority is what you just said, then this is the audience. This is the majority audience in this small niche of creation.
But you dictate that though. So you could have, instead of doing that, you should have successful people that have done it different ways instead of who have just done it your way. You're in charge of the narrative to where your narrative, that's where you get your demographic from. But say you get some intelligent people on there who know what they're talking about, not these goofies who don't know their numbers or their EIN number or, you know what I'm saying?
Let's touch on
99% of the dudes that call in, they're just, sometimes I'm like, these dudes are.
I disagree. I'm going to tell you why I disagree. Because Greg came up, he started with way more capital than is needed. And when you go look at the comments in that clip, people were upset that he talked about the fact that his house was paid off. People were upset. They were jealous because he came in the correct way with capital, and it was a bunch of fucking hate. The man didn't say nothing bad. Only thing the man did was talk his reality, and people just, I ain't never seen that much hate on somebody that was successful that came in with strong capital. It was just people that was envious because they ain't in the situation that he was in. The man didn't say
hold on. But wasn't that the dude who didn't know what to do with the capital, that had all that crazy payments and all that? Is that the same dude?
I'm talking about Greg that got 8 trucks with Amazon. Relay.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the other guy with the charger and all that.
So what I realized is that the majority people, they want to remain ignorant. So here's the thing. I know majority of the people that if you're not willing to have a plan, a person who doesn't have a plan that's coming in undercapitalized, you're going to fail, bro. You're going to fail because if you coming in with shoestring money, just enough to come in, you have to have a plan, bro. And if you don't have a plan, you got limited capital, yeah, I'm going to tell you, yo, you're going to fail. I'm not going to sit up here and give you hope when I know you don't even have a plan and you just got enough money to get in. Based on the data, based on the case studies we see. I'm not finna sit up here and play with you. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You ain't gonna like me, cool. But you won't come back and say, yo, you was right, like you've seen so many people do. I could sit up here and give them hope. Hope ain't gonna get them nowhere, bro.
Yeah. No, and I understand. I don't want to mislead and seem like I'm giving people hope. I just think my moral of the story is a lot of people that don't try should at least try. That whatever that situation is, whatever, I leave that up to you. Whatever your unique situation, I'm just saying a lot of people have the bread to get started and take a chance, and they just don't. So yeah, I understand a lot of people are gonna fail, but that's in life. A lot of people try stuff not knowing if they're gonna fail or not. And to me, there's a lot of money being spent on this crazy stuff that could at least be put towards something that you could take a chance.
Why you keep focusing on the people that do dumb shit anyway, though? See, you keep focusing on the people that stand in line in 0 degree weather for Jordans. You keep focusing on people that go out and buy cars that they can't afford and buy Kush. You saying it's Kush. Those people, what do you think those people that do that dumb shit that's already in that mind, that haven't transitioned out of that mindset, they take that money and come into business? You think that person is going to be successful? No, that's the person who got to get that mindset right first.
No, I agree exactly what you're saying, but I was saying I looked at it from a different way. Like when I jumped in, it forced me to learn. It forced me. So that's what I'm saying. The trying part, that's after you get set up. like my mentality changed as I went along. Yeah, you may go into it thinking something different, but that's when the business is going to show you. See, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing like experience. They may go in it looking like a goofy, but the business is going to show. When they put their money up, the business is going to show them like, okay, this is what happened when you do this. This is what happened when you don't do this. This is what happens when you're late. This, you know. So to me, there's nothing like on the job training. Yeah, if you're a goofy and you were doing dumb stuff, will you do dumb stuff in your business? Yes, but then there's those people too who may say, shoot, I'm not messing this 5 bands up. I'm gonna fly straight and learn the business. So it all depends on the person. But I'm just saying a lot of people who don't try. Look how many drug dealers and goofies turn into $1 million businesses because they tried. There's a lot of box truck millionaires that was gold mouth teeth, drug selling, PPP loan having, but now they got successful. So that's all I'm saying, because they took a chance. Look at all these there's felon millionaire box truckers. There's a lot of people that fail, but there's a lot of people who don't. Every time you go up in the highway, there's tons of box trucks. So you just got to be in the in crowd. You got to either, get with the program or not. But all I'm saying is I'm not disagreeing with nothing you're saying. I'm just saying a lot of our people, they don't try. Like you said, they try to stand in line for the Jordans and they try to do all that, but they won't try to say, oh, damn, it's only $200 to get my LLC. And then I got 21 days to get my EIN. And if I put up $200 or $100 a week that I spend on bullshit, I can put my insurance for my down payment. Then I don't need the $1,000 until I actually go pick up the truck. So and that's what people are misunderstanding. You don't need all that money at once. So to me, for somebody who say you can't start with 5K and give yourself a chance, if that's what you want to do, regardless of if you're going to fail or not, you just want to go in and give yourself a chance, 5K is more than enough. But if you're a felon and you messed up your driving record and you owe child support and all that, of course, you're a goofy. But if you got your good driving record, license is straight, you ain't got a bunch of kids, you gave yourself a decent chance at the beginning to go into this harder situation. See, me, when I went into my hard situation, I didn't have no kids. I didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? I had a good driving record.
See, it's always, because you ain't got no kids. What else? See, so you can.
There's tons of other people that don't have no kids.
You can live like a Viking. You can live like a Viking. You can put your head down and you can grind. You see what I'm saying? You are the anomaly for a reason.
But I'm saying the business I was already a grinder, but the business brought the grind out of me. Sometimes the business got to bring the grind out of people. Sometimes the grind has to be brought out of people because not everybody's born with it. Some people can be taught how to grind. And trust me, this business is cutthroat. It's going to teach you how to grind right out the gate. So that's what I'm saying. People can try to avoid it. They can shy away from it. But when you get out here, you're a shark in the water. It's going to teach you how to grind. It's going to teach you how to hustle automatically. It's going to do it for itself. Whether you choose to take on the information and give the grind and hustle, that's up to you.
So,
and people could duck it all they want to, but I promise you, the first day, especially your first 90 days, it's going to bring the hustle and grind right out. You don't even got to try. So the brokers, without Amazon for 6 months, these brokers, they're going to bring the grind right out of you.
I got two.
You don't even have to try.
I got two questions for you then. The majority of people that come in with 5,000 and you saying all you got to do is try, maybe a stupid question. My question is, why don't they then? If that's it, why don't they?
It's lack of knowledge. Like me, I didn't know. I think it's just lack of knowledge and not knowing. And listen, I want to correct myself. I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm saying everybody that's in my situation should give it a try. If you got 5 bands to spend and you don't have child support and you're not blowing your money on dumb shit and those are the people. I'm not saying every goofy can start with 5 bands. That's not what I'm saying. Like you said, I'm an anomaly, but there's a lot of us who don't have kids. There's a lot of us who have a good driving record. That's not an anomaly. Not trying and not giving it a chance, that's more of an anomaly than dudes out here with
you kept the demographics to black people. So if you want to keep the demographics to black people,
that's what you were speaking to. So I kept it to that demographic.
Because and that's fine because majority of the audience makeup is black, right? So people of color. So now there's a lot of child support. It's a lot of fucked up driving records. It's a lot of motherfuckers that ain't got the license because of child support. So a lot of that exists. And then you talk about knowledge, education. You see me up here telling people every single day, educate yourself. And then you have people come up here and say, Mark, I watch you all the time. I know you finna get on me. I don't know my numbers. And I know I should. Why you don't? I don't know, Mark. I don't know. So You're
But to me,
saying try.
those dudes, you shouldn't entertain them though. To me, them are dudes you should hang up the fucking phone. If this dude don't know his own MC number by heart, you need to hang the phone up.
Majority,
That's
though,
what I'm
bro.
saying.
That's the majority. 90% fail. 90%, bro. 90%. The 10% of people that come into this industry from a box truck perspective that survive are the anomaly. If you are in the,
I just think the
you are the
90%,
anomaly.
the 90% make us 10% look bad. I mean, they make us look good, but they make us look bad because they're extra dumb. Just like when you're lacking common sense. To me, there's a difference between knowledge and common sense. A lot of these dudes get on the phone and they just sound goofy. Like, intelligence is something totally different, but a lot of these dudes don't even have common sense to read information. So when it's that low, when they're like, oh, I don't know my numbers, to me, you're a goofy and you think it's funny. To me, you never knew your numbers before. You never knew, and that's probably the same dude who owes child support because he don't know his numbers.
But I think you don't understand the mindset of the majority that come into this. The mindset of the majority that come into this industry is why there's a 90 percentile, because they come in trying to escape something else. They come in desperate, right? They come in trying to escape something that's probably going to give them a better chance to financial freedom than this one, because some people need delegation. You talk about common sense, and this is what I'm saying. I understand that a lot of people can't be a boss. I understand that a lot of people can't be an entrepreneur because they can't even take delegation correctly themselves in order to be able to delegate to somebody else. They can't handle directions well. So they're not going to be able to direct themselves when they can't even follow directions that's delegated to them for them. They can't even follow a scope of work. So how can you build a scope of work? How can you build an SOP for your own business when you can't even follow one?
Yeah, no, I agree. But unfortunately, it's not dictated by goofies and non-goofies. If goofies have money, they could start businesses too. So that's where you got to separate the goofies from the non-goofies, because as long as you have bread, you can get it. Like you said before, as long as you have money, you can get an LLC and hop in a truck and think everything is gravy. But like I said, once they get out there, they're going to learn that it's not sweet. It's not, it's not sweet at all. But then, like you said, the capital thing, like I keep saying, the capital thing, I agree. You need capital. But it seems like the most people who need more capital are the ones that are coming in goofy as well as underfunded. To me, if you're smart and got some sort of intelligence, common sense, but you're coming in a little underfunded, I think you'll have a chance to be more successful than a goofy with 20 bands in the truck that can just do it just because he got money.
But see, you got to understand, I'm just going back through our conversations throughout the years. You're older. I think you tail into your 30s, early 40s, right?
Well, I'll be 40 next year. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you original from Chicago, migrated to St. Louis.
Low end.
Okay. So you have a mentality that the majority don't have based on your geographical location, bro, which further proves my point of you being an anomaly.
Hold on. Okay, I agree that, but how not when I came from the low end to St. Louis? It's not like I went from the low end to Idaho. So that's what I'm saying. If I can come from the low end, move to St. Louis and get it cracking, I mean, there's no excuse. I didn't move to Idaho. I didn't move to Wyoming or any shit. I went from the low end to St. Louis. And you know how St. Louis is from Chicago. We neighbors. Shit. I mean, I'm from Chicago, but shit, that's a hop, skip, and a jump.
So all right. So what's the blueprint then? What's the blueprint in 2026?
The blueprint is if you're undercapitalized and you have your other shit together, then I just say it gives you a better chance. But if you owe child support, you got a suspended license, and you're undercapitalized, then no, I'm not even speaking. I'm not even wasting my breath on you. But if you're 39, 40, you got 5 bands saved up, you don't got no children, you don't have no, huge car note and all that, I'm just saying give it a chance before you spend it on something else. Will you probably fail? Yes, but people fail at shit they do every day. So I'm not looking at it from the fail aspect, because that happens in life. You're going to pass and fail at everything in life. That's a given. But I'm just saying, if you don't like I keep saying, I'd rather give it a chance and fail, even if it's due to lack of knowledge. And at the end of the day, that falls on me. So if I start with 5K in my business and then I lose it a year later, that's on me. But I can also start with 5K a year later and be just fine. So a lot of it depends on the person.
So what you just said,
that's what it boils down. They can have the blueprint, they can have all the capital, they can have all the mentors, they can have all the they can have everything. But once they get out there, if they don't have what it takes to adapt and adjust, then they're going to fail anyway. And they won't know unless they try.
So you just said a person with $5,000 will probably fail. Yes, that's what you said. But your blueprint is they should just try. You understand that the majority are going to fail, but they should just give it a try anyway. And they may be the fall in the 10th percentile that make it through.
That's all I'm saying. And I agree with you. I don't want to say, and that's exactly what I'm saying, but I'm not saying it to disagree with you. I'm just saying how many people win the lottery or do it. If it's an anomaly, more people need to take the chance, so there's more anomalies that are going to happen. There's less anomalies because there's less people taking a chance. That's all I'm saying.
There's a less anomalies because people
I'm not saying my way is the right or wrong way. I'm not saying what I did was 100% correct, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people who don't even try. They'll blow the 5 bands on some bullshit, tricking it off, fucking it off.
We talking about the people that did. We're not talking about the people who didn't invest. We're talking about the people who did come in and fail. We're not talking about the people.
No. I'm talking about the people who have the money and the opportunity that never tried and gave it a chance, didn't do nothing. That's what I'm saying. People that are in my particular situation with no kids, all that particular situation that didn't even give it a try. That's all I'm saying.
Why would you want them people who don't want to do the trucking? Why are you even worried about them people? You need them people to continue. See, here's the thing, Chauncey. You need that ignorant.
It's to show that more people can do what I do. I'm not saying it's for everybody. That's why.
But see, I'm gonna look at it from a business perspective. I need more people to be ignorant, especially if I'm active in the trucking field. Why? Because I need volume to move. I need more people to be consumers because we need more volume. If a motherfucker want to be ignorant, let them motherfucker be ignorant.
To me, it's a double-edged sword because, you want to be competitive, but also you see so many dumb people that you want to just let them know that, man, you're dumb and this is how, so you fight a battle in between trying to be selfish and giving knowledge. So I guess that just depends on what kind of person you are.
No,
sometimes
listen, you understand, in order to be selfless at some point, you must first be selfish. You have to be selfish when it comes to business to be selfless later on. You see what I'm saying? If you start a business, your main objective should be ensuring revenue is coming in for your business, especially if you have somebody keep calling from an 832. I don't know. I guess they really want to talk to you.
Oh, no, that ain't me.
No, it ain't you, but somebody steady calling. I'm assuming they watching, but they calling back to back, so they must want to talk to you. You got to understand, if you start a business, especially if you got employees, you have to keep revenue in to ensure that you have work for your people. So if that means stepping on your competitor, which it's competitive. These loads can only go to one truck or one van, right? So you have to be selfish in business. Like we out chasing the same work. So what do you mean?
Think about it from this perspective. I'm such an anomaly that the people that I help, it doesn't affect me at all. So can you look at it from that standpoint? It's not like I'm helping a million people and ruining what I got going on. I can help certain people and give them certain tips and all that. They're not affecting me at all. So I understand where you're coming from if I was competing with somebody, but that's not my, that's not my situation. So if I give some game or give some knowledge out, I'm doing it on the strength that I'm not worried about you trying to, get in where I'm fitting in. That's not my mentality. Mm-hmm. And I would never put myself in a place for that to happen. I'm only going to give you what I can give you. I'm not going to give you, anything like that that's going to affect me. So that's, that's how I look at it. And most of it is simple remedial stuff. I'm not giving nobody nothing astronomical that they can't figure out. It's a lot of basic stuff that people just don't take the time to read and figure out. That's all. It's not nothing hidden or nothing.
Okay. You more for the what's the word I'm looking for? You more of a you're not really you more for the undereducated individual. You want to give hope for the undereducated. I just tell the undereducated person to get educated. You want the undereducated person to.
I'm just saying that you could have a chance to do it without being educated, because like I said, some people learn as they go. Is there going to be a percentage of people that come in educated? Yes. But there's some people who are going to get educated while they go. And that's what I'm just speaking from my experience.
Let's stay right there.
From experience or not, that's on you.
Hold on. Let's stay right there. The person who comes in with no prior, and when we say education, we're not expecting them to be tenured, educate the knowledge of, let's say, a person who's been 10 years, just general information based off research online of general, how to get started. and box trucking. Let's say you come in this person who got this general basic information and they're undercapitalized. What's the percentage that they're going to succeed, bro? Don't you think more capital gives you a longer life to learn, and it gives you more of a fighting chance while you are mastering the learning curve? The more capital will extend your life while you learn.
Only reason why I would disagree is because, like I said, you can have all the capital and not the knowledge. So at least someone who had the 5K and grinded it out up to that 15, 20K, not only did they build up the capital, they also build up the knowledge. So that's the standpoint I'm coming from. Yes, you can have all the capital you want going in, but if you don't have the knowledge, that capital don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing at all. It looks good, like you say, it looks good in your bank account, on your bank statement. I have 20 grand worth of capital, but if you don't have the knowledge and you're coming in fresh, you may have 20 bands. But like I said a million times over, I'll take the hustler new guy with the 5 grand with the knowledge than somebody who's coming fresh meat with a truck with 20 bands in the bank. So capital is overemphasized from certain standpoints. Is it needed in certain aspects? Yes. But sometimes capital gets overemphasized because with capital, you need knowledge. If you just have capital, if you just have no knowledge
aspects,
capital, it's not going to work for you.
You need knowledge in both aspects. Yes.
Capital, but if the person doesn't have the intelligence, common sense, and knowledge to go with that capital means nothing.
You need knowledge in both aspects. Yes, you keep saying, yes, there's goofy that come in.
I'll take a little bit of knowledge of the 5K over a lot of knowledge from no knowledge from the guy who's coming in with 20K capital. I'd rather work it up with the 5K hustle and grind and work his way up to that capital of 20K that he started with 5. That's all I'm saying. Because how many people who have capital, but they don't have the knowledge or the experience or the common sense or the intelligence? So that's what I mean. In certain aspects, you over preach capital. Yes, do you need it from a financial stability standpoint? Yes. But sometimes people have capital and they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to move it. They don't know how to delegate it to their drivers. They don't know how to take 20, 30% for taxes. So all that capital, they could just be running through it. They don't have an accountant telling them what capital to spend on what to save, what they have liquid and all that. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot that comes with capital too. So we just keep saying capital, which there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot that comes with capital. It's just more than just having money in the bank. It's how to delegate it, how to do taxes, how to spread that money out, how to pay your employees.
And guess what? It's not a lot of people in this space or any space that I've seen on YouTube that come from our community that focus or emphasize on it. So I emphasize on it because I understand how important it is. I emphasize on it because not a lot of people.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that's just pure laziness because that information is readily available. It's nothing special. It's nothing you have to search hard to find. So that's what I'm saying. We're not giving ourselves enough credit because you got these goofies who won't even look on a computer. It's not hard. It's not no secret scroll that you got to find to this information. Is readily available. These fools won't even get up and get on the computer. They'll rather sit and play video games and go to the library and get on the computer and see what an EIN is, see what IFTA is, see what most people don't even know what Duns and Bradstreet number. That's what I'm saying. We can go on and on. I have a lot of knowledge too. I've been in the game for a while. Not as long as you, but you know what I'm saying? The information is readily available, so we're discrediting us because you got these goofies who won't even get on a computer. They'll get on Instagram on their phone, but they won't get on the government websites and look, so that's where I'm coming from. A lot of these dudes is goofies. They won't even do the simple. A 5th grader can get on apps and stuff on a phone. So if these dudes ain't...
So you kind of contradicting yourself because you see the people, you understand the makeup of the 90%, you understand the mentality. But you think they're going to succeed with this mentality with a limited amount of capital, bro.
Okay, hold on. Break now. You got to admit on this. To me, there's more capital available than knowledge because money comes around all the time. The knowledge is easy to look up. So you may have the capital, but if you don't take the time to find out the information, that's all I'm saying. The capital is irrelevant. So that's all I'm saying. Yes, you need it from a backing standpoint. Like I keep saying, I agree on that. But there's some people who don't know what to do with capital. So if that's what's holding you back, I'm not going to do it because I don't have 20 grand, that may be stopping you from having to hustle and grind with the 5 grand. But if you don't know what to do with 5 grand, what you going to do coming in with 20?
There's going to be goofies on both sides, bro.
There is, yeah, I agree. I'm not saying anything from one side. So that's speaking to my point more that there's more people like me than you're leading on.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
There's always no.
Yes,
I disagree with you. Listen, okay, so
more of a
no. I disagree with you.
5K.
I disagree with you. There's not. No. I disagree with you. There's not more people like you. Fuck trucking. Let's take trucking out the equation. Let's just do general business. The percentage of success and failure just in business in general, most people that started business, regardless of the business, fail within the first couple of years, first 2 years. So the business owner, just in general, trucking aside, the minority is always going to be the success side. The majority is always going to equal failure because not everybody has what it takes. Once again, I applaud you. I know we go back and forth, but obviously when we get on the phone, we can have a conversation. Nobody's talking over. I appreciate that. But
I'm a little louder. It's just because I'm in the van. That's all.
It's fine. But what you instead of, I don't understand why you not just, embracing and indulging in the fact that you accomplished something that 90% of people that have tried to do what you've done failed, bro. You should embrace that. People cannot do what you do. That's the thing. That's what makes it beautiful about you being in the 10%.
I didn't believe I could do it until I tried. I doubted myself. So I think there's a lot of people like me who had the money and a clean driving record and a valid license and all that, who had 5 bands, but was like, man, they had doubt. Like I had doubt when I did it. But if I would have let the doubt, I mean, your mind could play with you and you could make up 1,000 reasons in your head why something won't work. And that's what was happening to me. Like, man, it ain't going to work because of this. I don't have enough of it. Sometimes, like, I don't know if it's right, but I just came to the point where I had to jump in. I wasn't desperate, but I just was so interested in it. It became a time I needed to do it or not. I became obsessed with it. I know everybody doesn't. But like I said, if I can be as obsessive as I want to, if I don't have the 5 bands, then I can be obsessive all I want to.
You just said word. No.
To me, the $5,000 is the hardest to save up for an average person. So if you can just save that up, the knowledge is there. If you could put the money with the knowledge, because to me, from my aspect, money's hard to get, especially with expenses and just life. So if you manage to save $5 or $6 grand, the knowledge is already there to pair with it. So if you can manage to get your finances in order somewhat to at least give yourself a chance, all the knowledge is already there. I think most people fight with the financial aspect more than the knowledge, because if they're lacking the knowledge, that's their own fault because everything's available. There's no secrets. There's a few hidden gems, a few secrets here and there, but the basis to get you started and find your way, find what works for your business is all available. You kind of low key contradicting yourself, but you just proved my point. Anybody that watches the channel, you said a key word that I always say: obsessed. Which further contributes to you being the anomaly. I say it all the time. You start a business, you come to Box Chunk, you have to be obsessed with this shit. You have to be obsessed. You have to be disciplined, sacrificing. You have to be obsessed. You have to be obsessed with the business and the numbers. You just said, I became obsessed with it. You became obsessed with it. You came in, you admitted to being undercapitalized, but because you became obsessed with it, you were determined. Most people are not obsessed. They come in with the wrong mindset. They come in for the wrong reasons. They thinking just because they got the box truck, it's going to do what it do on its own. You just said it. I became obsessed with it. This is why you persevered. But I preach obsession, though. I don't preach come in lackadaisical. Like, I preach to be obsessed like I was. And, when I'm driving back and forth to Indiana, I listen to podcasts and all that. So I preach that, too. I don't just preach one side. And I'm not preaching to a lot of people. Some people ask me. It's not like I'm talking to a big demographic. I help people who ask me for help, ask me for help. And if I have the knowledge, I give it to them. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not giving them nothing that they can't figure out on their own. I just try to give them a head start. Like, here, I bump my head on this, but you don't got to bump your head on this. Go this way. But you got to think in your head, some of this stuff is going to be, I can steer you some ways, but I can't drive the car. I can show you to make a left and a right, but I can't get you all the way there. I can get you started. So that's my thing, is trying to get people to at least get started. And some people are so in fear of failing that they don't even they may have every other component, but the fear of failure is stopping them from doing, and that's all I'm saying. I don't want the fear of failure to stop anybody from at least trying. That's all I'm saying. Will you fail? Yes. Will a lot of people come in undercapitalized? Yes. But there's a lot of people on the other side who have came in. Well, you say it's an anomaly. I know quite a few people who have came in. Maybe they're just around me or I'm around the same type of people as me. But I've seen quite a few people who've done it less than 5 bands.
I think 85, 90% failure and 10, 15% success. I would consider that that's a huge spectrum. So I would consider that very minimal amount of people, I would consider it an anomaly in comparison to.
I 100% agree with you, but I think those numbers are so swayed because there's not enough people trying to sway those numbers. If more people try, maybe that 10% will be 12, 13.
Try people that are in the business that are trying to be successful.
No, I'm talking about people that are starting in the business with the 5K is what I was saying.
So they start in the business, but they fail. So they're not trying their hardest when they start. Is basically what you're saying.
That's to me, because after the money and the knowledge gets your business going, to me, it's on you from there to have the grind.
But that doesn't negate the numbers. If majority of people that are coming into this industry are not trying, then that's why the numbers are the way they are.
Yeah, see, that's all I'm trying to get you to understand. The numbers are swayed because people fail, but the numbers are also swayed because a lot of people have the assets and don't try.
But how is that swaying, though? How is a person that wants to invest into a business that didn't do what they were supposed to do sway the numbers? That was just an ignorant fool. How is that swaying the number?
No, I'm speaking from the standpoint of a person who has everything to get started, but either lack of knowledge of the business, never heard of it or whatever, just didn't try, didn't discover the business. That's what I'm talking about. Those type of people you're talking about, I agree. I'm just talking about from a person who has a little bit of knowledge, wants to get started in the game, has the 5K, has certain things in order. That's the demographic I'm speaking to. But I understand where you're coming from too. People are going to fail. I agree. But see, I thought the same thing too. And the fear of failure stops a lot of people from trying. And that's where I think people mess up. They don't try. Because I understand, deal with the failing later. If you're going to fail, you're going to fail regardless. But I don't want to fail on the aspect that I didn't try at all. And I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying as far from a stability and financial standpoint of starting a business. I completely agree with that. But I'm just speaking for the people who can't do it that way to let them know there's possibly another way that you can get it in. How you get it in is up to you. But you don't got to go in with $20,000 in the bank. But just know if you're only coming in the game with 5, here's what you need to do. That's all I'm preaching. I'm not preaching the 5,000 over the 20,000. If you can have 20 bands capital, by all means, that's great. But at the same time, if you can only get started with 5 bands, I've seen people do that too.
So wouldn't you consider getting the business up and going, renting the truck? You're in 5 bands, you're in truck, insurance, you're able to pull loads. That's trying, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying trying that once you get started, trying giving yourself a chance after you got started. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So
a lot of people
let's stop there because you kind of long-winded. Hold on, let's stop there. So boom, they tried. Now you said give themselves a chance. Okay. What does that look like?
And that depends on your situation too. If you're new, like I said, it's all about knowledge. So I would just, try to use all my resources and try to look at people that were in my situation when I started. Like I said, a lot of it is who you know and what you know. Okay. So I can't give an exact blueprint on a specific.
Shouldn't they do that before they try?
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm talking about trying to start the business, and then once you're in the business, trying to keep the business successful. So to me, I'm saying 2 different versions of trying.
What does that look like? Because you've done it. So tell us that's what I'm trying to get to. What does that look like?
To me, I had the 5. I started for like 3,700 because my record was good and I've been driving. But I had the 5 band capital, and when I started, it was the same thing: fear of failure. That was my biggest thing. But I just had a lot of knowledge, and I did research, and I just tried my best. That's what I'm preaching too. If you're only going to go in this with 5 bands, you can't do Amazon no more. You can't just get with these brokers out of the blue. That's not how it works. Unfortunately, I run Amazon at night, and I have a tool contract during the day. So, my situation is different from somebody else's. But I'm like, if you don't take a chance and try, if I didn't take the chance and try, and I just thought, oh, I was going to fail because not enough capital, I would have never stumbled into the opportunities that I stumbled into. So that's what I'm saying. People miss out on a lot of stuff because of the fear of not having enough money. To me, it's just get your business started, jump out there. I'm not saying it's 100% the right way, but a lot of people learn as they go. Because you can have all the capital, all the knowledge, but once you hit them streets and you behind that wheel and them white lines, the game is going to teach you. I promise you. You could have all the lack of hustle you want to, but if you were brave enough to get your business started and hop in one of them trucks, the grind and hustle is going to be there. Whether you choose to adhere to it or disagree with it, it's going to be up to you.
A big portion of the failure, 85, 90% failure, why didn't those white lines teach them? This is I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to understand it. This is what I'm trying to understand. What did you do that they didn't do?
They didn't give themselves the opportunity to grow. They got into the business and they became stagnant. As they were driving the truck, they just became a driver. Yeah, they may have owned their own business, but they didn't keep learning as they were driving. So it's easy to get the money and get in the truck, start your LLC. But once you start driving, there's other stuff that comes. You should constantly be looking at low boards, listening to podcasts. So that's what I preach, is just in your spare time or when you're doing something to where you could be listening or, listening to someone else. That just like you. You think I may not like you, but every time I drive, I listen to all your podcasts. I may have not seen all your videos. But that's the thing I preach to, is knowledge. Now, if you have the knowledge that I had and the obsession, yes, you could do a 5K easily. It's a little bit harder because I came in when Amazon didn't have the 6-month rule. So I was making 2 bands my first week, 3 bands my next week. But I don't preach that. I don't even talk about that because that's not how it is now. So that's why a lot of the times I don't even bring that up.
So you
I was making
during the pandemic? You came in during the pandemic?
Oh, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't talk about that. You never heard me talk about my Amazon because that was a different time. That was a unique situation. So that's why I don't bring up the money that I made, and it was just me, one truck.
Okay, so with me doing all these 5,000 videos that you don't like when I do it, and now the story is more. You came in during probably the last of the floodgates being open, where it was you can come in at that time period and be instantly successful with a lack of knowledge because of the high rates. The rates were going to, just far exceed cost. An idiot could come in at that time. And
okay, but also, hold on, I don't mean to interrupt you. Remember, I also preach luck. I lucked up because STL5 opened during peak season. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes if you don't take an opportunity, anybody who's in St. Louis that was running out of STL5, that's in the chat, if you know, STL5 opened right before peak season in 2021. So my situation, that's what I'm saying. But if I would have never tried and I had fear that I was going to fail, I never would have hit that, I never would have hit STL5 being a new distribution center and pulling in 2 bands one week, $3,000 the next week. So if I would have never tried and it would have just been off, oh, I'm going to fail because I don't have enough capital, you never know what you're going to stumble into. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of chances that these companies fall into that they didn't expect. A lot of dudes start out with little capital, but they land on a contract. They land on different dedicated routes. So all I'm saying is there's a chance out the norm. What you're preaching is the 100% blue collar straight way to go. All I'm saying is there may be other avenues and other opportunities to try to get it the same way. You're all going to the same destination. It might be different routes. You might go straight. I might take a U-turn. I might go around the back way, whatever. But that's all I'm preaching is that. And I disagree with you so hard because I know for a fact that people have got it different ways than what you're preaching. Okay. Not saying that what you're saying is wrong, but it just irks me because I'm like, man, he preaches this straight up and down approach, which is fine. But I've seen people get it out the mud. I've seen people get it with 5 bands.
All right, hold on. Let's stay there because let's stay there because you just brought up very pertinent information that I wish I would have known sooner. Now, let me ask you this, and I want you to be completely honest with me. Be truthful.
I'm an honest person.
You came in 2021 with a nickel, right? During a time period where volume was really, really high and you had time to learn because the rates were just so exorbitant. Anybody that came in saw success. Person that didn't know their numbers, person that had a high cost entry, they were going to win because of the rates. Let me ask you this.
Hold on, but that contradicts itself. I actually didn't have time to learn because I stumbled right into money.
Listen.
See, I had to learn later on because the money was.
That's the point. You stumbled into money. So even during the stumbling into money all throughout 2021, you were still learning, but you were learning during a time period where the industry was giving, not forgiving. The industry was set up. Hold on. The industry was set up that a person who was knowledgeable that had been in, this was a bonus. They was making money hand over fist.
Myself in that position and gave myself that chance, then we're not even talking about this. That's what I'm preaching.
Hold on. And the person,
you see what I'm saying? If I was never gave myself,
I let you cook. Hold on. I just want to get this off. And the person that came in, like we saw so many, hindsight is 2020. A lot of people that came in, the reason why a lot of people got misled on their own ignorance is because when they came in, they saw instant success and then they started running their mouth. Oh, we winning over here with trucking. They didn't realize that they didn't know their numbers. They didn't realize that they numbers even existed. They were just seeing profit due to the rates being so high. The industry was set up that even a fool could run, hold on, and be successful. Let me ask you this. Do you think you will be able to come in at 3,700 in December, January of 2026 with 3,700 and duplicate what you did in 2020, 21? Be honest.
Absolutely not.
There you go. So why are you so upset when I tell people you can't do it?
No, but to me, that's the difference between doing what I did and starting with $5,000. That's all I was preaching. I'm not saying you can do what I did with the $5,000. But I'm just saying it can be, your business can get started. That's all I'm preaching.
Won't be a fan.
All right, Chauncey.
No, you're good.
All right. Well, I'll let you get another caller on.
I appreciate you calling.
All right, Mark.
All right, man. Be safe. 832, you called a bunch of times. Now is your time. I'm going to let 832 call in. Oh, man. $832, you called a bunch of times. Now's your time. I got some shopping to do. I'm gonna get 832 a chance. I'm gonna put a 5-minute timer up. I'm gonna put a 5-minute timer up. I'm gonna get 832 a chance, and I'm gonna give one more person a chance. First call, first serve, and then I'm done. I'm done after that. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I don't got no more words, man. I'm just waiting on the next caller, man. 832, I don't know. 832 called so many times. I'm like, shit, either they really wanted to talk to me or they wanted to talk to Chauncey. I mean, they called a bunch of times. So 832, there you go. Yo, what up?
Hey, how's it going?
What up? Who that?
Oh, this Wyatt. I'm out of Houston.
What up?
Man, nothing, man. I just jumped in. I seen you was live. I heard y'all conversation. I guess I wanted to chime in on it a little bit.
What's up with it? Talk to me.
So, like that 5,000 he talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with him. You know what I'm saying? I agree.
You agree with him?
But
you agree with him
man,
or me?
Both of y'all, to a certain extent, with him.
Okay.
And,
explain.
So boom, the 5,000 that he put in. All right. He had to have like hella discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because the way my mind works, if I put in 5,000, I'm definitely gonna want to recoup what I invested in a profit term.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if I put in 5,000, but I still got all this overhead, it's like somebody in front of me a pack or something.
Oh,
the profit that I get from that.
Oh Lord, here we go.
This is
Nah, but real talk though.
classic. Real trap shit.
You trying to compare the trucking to the streets?
But nah, I'm not comparing trucking to the streets. I'm comparing trucking to getting a profit. You know what I'm saying? Like any type of profit. So if I put in, all right, let me say that again then. So if I got all this overhead and like I put in 5,000, but I'ma just throw a number. I owe 30,000. So that's 25,000 in debt. So if I get, let me say, that month I made 15,000. So boom, if he put all that on that debt, that's hella discipline. That's all I'm saying. And everybody don't have that type of discipline.
Listen, you know, I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't even understand what you just said. Like, what are you currently in trucking?
Nah, I'm trying to get there.
You trying to get there?
Yes, sir.
So you ain't in yet?
No, I'm not in.
Now,
I'm just chiming in because you.
Hold on.
You had the number.
We gonna cook. This is why I'll let you call up. You finna cook. You agree with him? Do you know why you agree with him? I'm gonna tell you why you agree with him.
On the profit standpoint, yeah.
You can't. How you gonna know? You ain't in yet.
You know, we just having a conversation.
I'm
trying to get that. I got a little knowledge. I'm
finna give it to you. Listen, we having a conversation. You watch the channel, don't you?
Yeah, I watch.
All right, so you know we kicking it. All right, so boom. You agree with him. You know why you agree with him?
Yeah, most definitely. But I agree with both of y'all though. It ain't just him. You know,
But you agree with him, and these numbers you gave me didn't make no sense.
Those was like random numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have no specific. I don't have no specific numbers for you because I'm not in the industry right now.
So do you know what? Remember, if you watch that whole conversation, what was the main word that I kept using as it pertained to him?
It depends on what part of the conversation you talking about. You said a lot about
anomaly.
Okay, most definitely.
Now, right when the conversation ended, what was the determining factor that 100% guaranteed his success? Now, granted, a lot of people during that time period failed, but he persevered due to his own effort. But with that minimal amount of money that he came in with, why did he succeed? And then remind you, I asked him a question. I said, be honest with me. Do you think you could do what you did then now? He said, absolutely not. So,
I heard him.
So,
he came in through the pandemic.
All right, so,
the rates was really high. Yeah,
okay,
I heard.
So where do you agree? Because even he agreed. Me and his back and forth throughout the past years has been for that one reason, the $5,000 thing. So I think that's been put to bed. I'm glad we had the conversation. So where do you agree?
I agree. If you have some type of discipline and some type of grit, and if you don't have any kids, if you don't have any substantial like debt in your personal life, that 5,000 could be beneficial.
How?
I'm not.
How?
Okay. So boom, you probably these random numbers, man, because I'm not in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Over here, and I'm trying to get a Sprinter van. I'm not in the box truck either. I'm trying to get a Sprinter van, but over here, the Sprinter vans cost $24,000, and that's like with probably like 60,000 miles on it. $24,000. So I'm gonna just use that as an example. If I come in with 5,000 with that, and I get a loan, shoot,
what kind?
And if I have a personal loan, because I don't have the LLC yet.
So you don't have the money.
I have some money, but
how much
I don't have I don't have enough money to get in. I have $20,000 right now. I agree with him on the discipline aspect. I'm trying to get in. Say it again.
You got 20,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so you arguing 5,000.
I'm not arguing 5,000. I'm just saying I agree with both. Like, you keep missing what I'm saying.
All right, come on.
Like,
come on, I'm just gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. I ain't gonna say shit.
Nah, you can sure we going back and forth. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying I agree with both of y'all. I told you I agree with him on the discipline and profit aspect. If you have that discipline, you can do it. You can pay back that overhead and probably before the interest hit.
Discipline in what aspect though? Because I talk discipline all the time. He agreed with our whole dispute has just been on the $5,000. So the discipline. I talk discipline. Where do you agree with him at? As far as that, where you disagree? Because if you would agree with him and you agree with me, where you agree with him at, that means you disagree with me somewhere. So where do you agree with him at that he disagrees with me? That's the only thing I want to know about.
I'm not agreeing with his disagreement with you. Mm-hmm. I'm agreeing just by the discipline aspect. He has to be disciplined in order to pay that overhead back, unless he still has overhead and just keep getting overhead and really don't have a profit. Who knows?
He came in and he came in with a rental truck, and I can't really say he had overhead, but his overhead wasn't fixed. Like, he didn't buy a truck. He came in with a rental truck. So if his capital would have just dissolved within a week or two, he just turned the rental truck in and cancel the insurance and he just walk away, versus a person who has fixed overhead. He went out, he bought a truck, he signed a 60-month agreement, right? And if that minimum working capital that he had dissolved over the course of, let's say, 30 days, he has no more capital to run, right? He still has that fixed cost of that box truck. He can cancel the insurance, but he still got the note on that truck. His overhead wasn't fixed to the point where he couldn't just cut the lights out and walk away clean. He didn't start with the truck. So that's what I'm trying to understand when you say overhead.
Well, overhead, what I mean is the obligation that he put on himself. I get what you're saying. He can just cut the cord and walk away, but that wasn't the intention. So the overhead, what I mean is the obligation he put on himself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you talking about the saying, yo, I'm starting this business and we finna make it shake. Hella hot water. This shit gotta work.
Yeah, and it's definitely overhead in that, if it's an obligation.
What's the overhead? So what overhead you thinking?
I'm thinking, okay, the rental costs. If he's gonna stay in there and not walk away, it's the rental costs, it's the insurance, it's let's see, it's food, it's gas.
But all that can get cut off.
It can get cut off, but it didn't. That's what I'm saying. It didn't. It can. It could have.
So you saying he got disciplined to persevere and make the sacrifices and do what he needed to do during that time period for him to persevere to make it through, even when the market corrected itself and it wiped a large portion of people out. At that point, he had, learned enough to be able to make the adjustment and continue to float while everybody else was sinking mid 2022. This is what you see.
I can agree. That's kind of what I'm saying, man. It's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, he just continued to go. He continued to grow. I really don't know what he got going on, but he's still there. I don't know why to know if he's making profit or not, but he's still there. It's all about profit. Well, in my mind, it's all about profit. Knowledge for sure. You have to know the knowledge in order to get the profit. But at the end of the day, it's all about profit. He's still there. He has to be making profit. I think I chimed in.
We're not negating that.
Well, that's what it's all about. Making profit so you can feed your family.
But
so
you have to be able to know how to make the profit. Do you understand why majority of the people fail?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because they not making profit, man.
No.
Like, the numbers don't lie.
No.
Man.
No,
okay.
That's not why people fail.
If they not making profit, man, they can't reinvest in it.
If you don't know how to make profit, you ain't gonna make profit. That's not why people fail. Nigga, listen, money is easy. Once you understand money, it's easy to get.
I can agree with that. So why
But you
they
know
fail
what?
though?
This right here. You have to know how to make the money, bro. If you don't know how to make the money and then know how to keep the money and then know how to allocate the money and appropriate the money, you're not going to make money.
Most definitely. I can agree with that. Most definitely.
So
that
you
coexist with
in
you got
order
to know
to
the
make
industry.
profits, you got to know how to make it. You got to know your numbers. You got to know if you hemorrhaging money. You got to know if you operating at a loss. You got to know what your profit margins are. You got to know your numbers.
Most definitely. I agree with that.
So a person, it ain't profit. It's the knowledge. The knowledge is going to determine whether you sink or swim.
Man.
You wouldn't be watching this channel if it was no knowledge.
Oh, most definitely.
I
It's definitely
did.
knowledge because you can't make profit without knowledge.
Exactly.
But you bringing in that terminology, man. I wanna I'm going off subject a little bit, my bad. But I wanna thank you because I'm always about numbers, man. I'm always about profit. But this terminology that you be bringing to these callers, I be studying it, man, and I definitely appreciate you because like my terminology is profit, recoup or re-up, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. But you talking about variable cost.
And see, I can listen to you and tell what your previous profession was.
My previous, exactly.
But
so,
here's the thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm listening, man.
You have to unlearn that, brother. You gotta unlearn that because it doesn't translate into this. Now you can take the same
I'm listening.
work ethic. No, I'm just, sometimes when you see me pause, I'm getting my thoughts together. I'm thinking about because I don't want to misspeak and I want to articulate myself in a certain way. So sometimes I want to use certain words. So I'm not a person that just talk. If you watch me long enough, you'll see me just pause, and sometimes it might be a few seconds. Sometimes it might be longer because I'm processing.
Most definitely.
You gotta unlearn that that language and this language don't translate. But you can take, just like you had when you did that, you assessed your risk, right? A lot of risk doing that, right?
Yes.
You had a risk analysis.
Yes, sir.
That you need to do that. So you need to take some of the same, not all, some of the same behaviors from a business perspective that you did over there, like risk assessment, things of that nature, and utilize that over here.
Most definitely.
All right.
Hey, I just wrote that down too. Risk analysis. Hey, man, I wrote down the variable costs, fixed costs, gross margins. Man, I'm studying all this, man. Operating profit. Now I just wrote down that risk analyst, man. Like, man, look, man, I appreciate you with all these terminology because you say you got that degree in business, right? It's coming out. It shows, bro. It shows, bro. And you really helping a lot of people. I don't know if people like studying your lingo, but I need that. You know what I'm saying? Because I agree with you on that. I have to unlearn the terminology that I have, which I'm in the process of doing that right now. And it's not hard.
Unlearn it from a business when you speaking over here. Keep that in the back of your mind because I'm not saying not all of that. Some of that over there you can apply some of those principles over here. You know what I'm saying? But as it pertains to the verbiage and the terminology when you articulate, choose better words because you don't want to be in a situation where you're talking to someone who may be in a place of importance, but also comes from that. You see what I'm saying? And they just, they and you're trying to acquire something, but you're speaking in a terminology that they understand that they may not want to associate with as it pertains to business.
Most definitely.
You don't never want to let your, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, you got to navigate through this shit, you dig?
Most
So,
definitely.
You can use some principles and things from that over here, but just, unlearn certain aspects of it because certain things just don't translate. I'm trying to simplify what I'm saying to you so you understand it without going too much in depth.
Okay.
Because I understand without going too much in depth what your previous profession was based on some of the verbiage that you use, but I don't want to, So you get what I'm trying to explain to you, right?
Most definitely.
All
Most definitely. Keep it in the back of my head, but at the same time, when I'm talking to specific people, get my words together. Come correct, basically.
Already. Ain't that what y'all say down there? Already.
Already, man. Hey, you already know. Hey, man, I really think I need to. Nah, I don't think, man, I need to go to speech therapy because I need to get this country slang out of me, man. Because I was listening to your other show, and you were saying how people talk can get you out of opportunity.
Just read, bro. Just read more books.
Okay, most definitely.
Just read more books. And just, read and just, the more books you read, you're going to come across words. And here's the thing, you from where you from. I mean, you can, listen, you can talk to a person and still articulate yourself professionally. A person will be able to tell you black. They'll be able to tell you from the South. But that won't matter if you articulate yourself in a professional manner. Where you from regionally there's nothing wrong with that. Southern slang is what makes you a Southerner, makes you unique. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. It's white people down there that got a deep Southern drawl. It's black people down there that got a deep Southern drawl. It's just how you articulate your words when you talk in business. You see what I'm saying? So there was a call the other day. It was a black kid, 24, really, really successful, watches the channel a lot. You can hear he's black, but when he's talking business, he's articulating himself in a certain way. You hear people call up him, I'm like, whoa. They don't speak. They just call. They have no fucking etiquette. I had to ask a guy yesterday. He just called up and just started talking to me like, nigga, I owe you something. I don't have to. Man, hold on. What's your name? So it's not even just the verbiage, it's just the etiquette as well. You see what I'm saying? People call a broker. Hey, I see that load, man, you got going from Tennessee up to Chicago. That's not how you talk to somebody. That's why I get people correct. Wait a minute, hold on. What's your name? Don't call up here just telling me, nigga, I'm going to start hanging up on people because that's not proper etiquette. So it's not just the verbiage, it's just the etiquette in general. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't realize the opportunities they lose because they lack proper etiquette. So
I can agree with that, man. I can agree with that. Well, man, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, but I want to run something else by you. One more thing by you. You say you got to go shopping, so I'm gonna get out your ear soon. But just want to run this by you, man. So, like I said, I got $20,000, and I'm steady stacking. I'm trying to get the Sprinter van, well, a Ford Transit extended high roof, and I'm trying to go over the road, and the trucks down here cost, like I said, about $24,000 for like 60,000 miles on it. And I was thinking if I just keep grinding and get by, I'm gonna say about 50,000, cash out on that 24,000, and keep about 26. Keep 10 for an emergency fund, and the rest of that is spending capital. And investing like they got mentors out here that just basically hold your hand, right? Not on no having like a crutch type thing, but basically, well, what I'm trying to ask you, do you think I'll skip some of that learning curve? I know I'm not gonna skip it all, but do you think I'll skip some of that learning curve with that hold your hand mentor?
That all depends on who you hire. You know, when you got to look at a mentor like a consultant, right? You got business that hire consulting firms, right? You know, when you look at these big Fortune 500 companies, they spend millions of dollars in consulting. You got these multi-million-dollar consulting agencies. That's what this is, just on a way smaller scale. So, if you decide to go that route, right, you have to do your due diligence on who your company, your corporation, your LLC decides to hire for consulting. So, me personally, I think in the age that we're in, I think if you have some common sense and you're willing to put the work in as far as the research, especially in the informational age that we're in, now I think that's capital that you could allocate and use in your business. And it's because I think there's a lot of information on the internet that will give you everything you need from start to finish. I'm talking about starting as far as entering into the industry all the way up to building a successful business and preparing for an exit. I've done content from point A to point Z, right? And it's all available for the most part in the channel. A lot of those slideshows and PowerPoint presentations I did years ago, I don't do that anymore. But I have that from point A to point Z, in this content. So me personally, I think you can acquire it just from some due diligence and some patience, some discipline, and searching for it. Now, if I think a lot of people look at hiring consultants, mentors for a more express way around a learning curve. Now, that's something that you want. Like I said, you have to do your due diligence on who you hire for a consultant so you make the right decision. And then you need to see if the money that you're going to be spending on that, you can afford it, or can that money be appropriated or allocated somewhere else in the business that may be more beneficial for you.
Most definitely. Okay, man, I appreciate that answer, man, and I definitely appreciate the time, and I also appreciate you for not really going in on me.
You ain't give me no reason to go in on you.
For sure, man.
You ain't really got started yet. You got to be in the game and doing some stupid shit for me to go in on you, big dog. You ain't in yet.
Yeah.
Now, if you come in and you call up here and you need some help and I got to get you together, then that's what we do, and we do it well. But you ain't to that point. I hope you ain't never got a call up here.
Sure.
Okay. I hope you call. If you do call up here, I hope you calling up here with a success story.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. It's gonna be something like that. Man. But all right, man. For sure. I'm gonna let you shop, man. I ain't gonna hold you much no longer, man.
Already, man. Already, man.
For sure, man. All right, man. You have a good day.
All right, man. Later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Crazy said he trying to beat the algorithm. The algorithm tearing a hole in his ass. Hey, keep trying to beat that algorithm. Keep trying to beat it. Or you know what you could do, Crazy? This is what you could do. Get on Indeed. Get on Indeed. Get on Indeed. Get you a resume together. Put your resume together. Get on Indeed and get to going. All right? And then continue to do that. Just do it on the side, big dog. Listen, I'm telling you, it's about to get ugly out here, man. I read about Tyson Foods this morning. Listen, it ain't finna slow down, pimp. I read about Tyson Foods this morning. I heard, and it ain't finna stop there. So I think this is a critical time right now. I think people need to stop being distracted by all these things that were put out in social media and the news to distract you from what's really going on. A lot of this shit, majority of this shit is distractions, and people are easily distracted. Focus on what you need to focus on. Tyson laid off more people. And they ain't the only ones. They ain't the only ones. So a lot of companies about to or have already started, and they're going to continue to lay off. A lot of automation is going to continue to creep in, technology, and I think people need to stop being distracted. All right. So that's it. I think today was a very, 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 very good day. I feel good about today. Finally got a chance to talk to Chauncey after 2 years. Talked to this other gentleman from Texas. It's the 23rd. We're about 2 days away from Christmas. We're about a week and a half away from January, New Year 2026. If you're in this industry, you know what's going on. I see the sentiment changing in the space. This is how I started the show with the sentiment. I'm starting to see, I've been doing content. This is my 4th holiday season in this space. And every year around this time for the next, right around now, going into about the next month and a half, you just doom and gloom from people because they're realizing this is it for them. These are the people who they know their time is up. They were hoping for this time of the year. They thought it was going to be their saving grace. And it's here now. It's 2 days to Christmas. They realize it's a wrap. So purpose of this show is to have the, like Freeman Freight said, the discussion. I built a platform similar to like what you see as far as in other spaces, like the urban culture space, like you may see with like a academics or maybe like a Stephen A. when it comes to sports, or Pat McAfee, just a space where we have real conversations, whether it be good, whether it be bad, doom and gloom. We have space, conversations, because nothing like that existed prior to this. So this was the purpose of doing it. Even though it's a small space, it still is a place and it's a platform to have the conversation. And I think there's a lot that can be learned just from conversation, from the people that are having the conversation and the audience. And sometimes, you just can't, happy Kwanzaa. Yeah, happy Kwanzaa, even though you're not black, but 10-4. Sometimes, a lot of the time, a lot of value can come out of just having conversations. All right, so with that being said, I got to run. Appreciate everybody. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. We're going to do a show Christmas Eve. See you tomorrow. Peace.